So, I have absolutely no idea what this game is. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. We'll figure it out. Before we go any further, I do want to say shout outs and thank you to the 5 people who funded this game: C.W. Daniels, Misha Karlberg, Bragwin, person who put this game on the books, Sasha Fenn, and the person who is the majority shareholder, Walker02. Thank you very much, all of you, for continuing to help me keep the lights on. Yeah, go figure. Really short games require a lot less to fun. It's kind of funny if you actually pay attention to it. I know none of you do. All of the recent games on my list, recent funded games by you guys, happens to be very short games. I don't know if that's indicative or not. Anyway, so let's see what we got. So it's only in 16 by 9. I'm sorry. Nothing I can do about it. Now, normally I'd hit play now, but Noctis is like, no! Leaps in front of the stream. Noctis flings himself in front of the stream. I mean, very unlikely, Crazy Norse. There are a couple of games which have scored very, very, very well for being short, but they are definitely the exception that proves the rule, not the rule. And thank you again, Noctis X Soul. I'll put that towards the Messenger, Helltaker, and Epic Battle Fantasy V. I mean, yeah, if we can talk about this for a second, just to spend some time. Because, yeah, high density of positive, that's the thing. It really requires a very exceptional game to do well with a short score. Believe it or not, despite the fact that I consider density in the golden number equation, you have to understand I also consider relative continuance of quality, I think is how I'm going to explain that. In other words, a good game that's good for 3 hours equally somehow is going to score worse than a good game that's like 30 hours that retains the same level of good throughout. Make sense? Like if a long game stays good, it's going to stomp a short game that stays good. That's how the system is designed. I think the only exception to that fact here, I can actually sort by hours really quick. So if we scroll down to like the really short games down here, there's Mega Man 5, which is one of the best Mega Man games ever. Portal 1, need I say more? Mega Man 11, the best Mega Man game ever. Let's see. That might be it, honestly. I mean, there's several other Mega Man games. There's Modern Warfare 2. That scored extraordinarily well. Yeah, that actually might be it. That might be the exceptions that prove the aforementioned rule. Because if you look at the actual best, hang on, let me sort by score really quick here while we're just chilling. We've got a 12-hour game in order from top to bottom. We've got a 13-hour game, a 12-hour game, a 4-hour game, a 38-hour game, a 7-hour game, a 30-hour game, a 2-hour game, a 40-hour game, a 12-hour game, and a 20-hour game. And hang on, I got 3 more here. 12-hour, 9-hour, 16 hours. That's like all the games that are above 200 in score. And you see what I mean? Like, there's a clear trend there if you actually look at the graph, which, yes, I have graphs, too. If you look at the graph, there's a definite trend towards longer games. I say longer, being better. That being said, the problem, of course, is maintaining that quality. If you have a 120-hour game, Persona 5, and it has constant dips in quality, it's just not going to score as well, right? Thank you, ISE. Always. If you want to put that towards up to 3 things, please let me know. Hi, Walker. I was mostly rambling waiting for you. I should have put an internal timestamp there. I'll put a timestamp for like a minute ago. There we go. How many hours was FF14? 2,343.52. That's not a joke. It's right there. However, if you want to look at it from a different perspective, let's look at just Shadowbringer, which is the highest rated expansion of FF14. That's 97.98 hours. Still pretty freaking long. Exactly, Rex. You get it. You get it. The whole system, I'm actually really, I know I've said this before, I'm legitimately proud of the review system that we have and how it works and how it functions. The only hiccup, really, is MMOs, and we just made another scale for MMOs, and that's over there. And that works. The only downside of the MMO scale, really, is the fact that MMOs only really review against each other. And let's be honest with ourselves. Let's look at the MMOs we're ever going to cover. FF14, World of Warcraft, and Guild Wars 2, which I'm putting over here for a reason. And then Tor, STO, and ESO. Like, this is the Gold League, and this is the Bronze League, and we all know that. So these three, it's really just fighting themselves. And these three, it's really just fighting themselves, right? There's not going to be any of this. There's no crossover. There's no Silver League because we're not covering that. MMOs take a long time to cover, and I'm going to be completely honest, most MMOs are not worth covering. No offense to MMO lovers out there. All right. At least not until I conquer the world. So, this is a controller game. Let's do this. We already actually looked at options. This screen tells me nothing. ESO might be in the Silver League. I don't know. I haven't played ESO. It's going to be a blind MMO review. The only MMO I'm willing to blind run. I never get tired of this view. Try not to make a joke. Claire, you're going to have a great time here this summer. Not having proper capitalization is going to drive me bonkers. I think. It'll be good to get you away from the city. Take a break from everything else going on. You still awake? Maybe. Hold on a little longer. We're almost at the ferry. Interesting art style. It's like the PlayStation 1, but not crap. We got the shell. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, hang on. Let's see here. So the pixelization right now is big and crunchy, which is what I prefer. If you want, it also look like this. That just looks terrible to me, honestly. But, you know, what the hell do I know? Yeah, we have a jump button. There's also a gradient, obviously. You can do in the middle. Yeah, get your guesses in quickly. This is supposed to be like a 2-hour game. I have no idea what I'm doing or why. There's music. Run away from the music. There's a volcano. You gotta jump in the volcano. Hang on, let me take the shell first. Hello? Yo. This updraft is on point! You can get some sick dives on it. How do you dive? Oh, dang, it's easy. First, you gotta have Alex Korbianiki donate, but only towards one thing. So a bunch of people need to bury Alex Korbianiki with donuts to make sure he donates towards up to 3 things. You gotta hear me out. First, you gotta be gliding, as you know, if you glide by holding A. If you're high enough off the ground, release your control stick and dive downward. But you must still remember to hold A. That's the tricky part. Good diving can build up lots of speed. Okay. Sure, let's try it. That is extraordinarily strange to control. Yeah, there's a reason I went out over the water immediately there. Camera. Camera! Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, we're back at the house. We made it. Let me in! Let me... Okay. Who are you? How's it going? I haven't seen you all day. You been busy? Kinda. Well, not really. I've just been waiting around for a call. Well, there's your problem. There's no reception out here. Wait. What? Yeah, I mean, pretty much no reception. You might be able to get some at Hawk Peak. Oh, yeah, I guess. That's pretty far, isn't it? It's not that far. It's just a short hike! I figured you would have gone already. Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to go, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Well, today's as good a day as any. Take White Beach Trail, head north to the Fork, and follow the signs for Hot Peak. Okay, we now have an objective, which we are, of course, immediately going to not do. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Camera. Hey, silly idea. You asked me an interesting question the other day, which I've been sitting on. I mean, a lot of people ask me questions that I've been sitting on. We're going to have to do a question queue cleanup stream at this point. No, what I wanted to answer is, you said, if I was to write the characters from Final Fantasy 1, obviously with the advantage of, you know, modern design and all that, what would I write? I find that to be an interesting question. But rather than answer you directly, what I'm going to say is, please look forward to the Final Fantasy 1 rewrite, which I've not only already outlined, but I'm already partially through scripting. Let's see if fish spawn when I just go into the water in general. Looks like no. We definitely saw fish up here. Come on, get in the boat, fish. Come on, get into the boat, fish, fish. Join me, fish. Okay, can't do anything. I don't think I've ever hated fishing in a game. I just don't think I've ever liked fishing in a game. There's a difference. Dive bombing the fish would be pretty difficult to do. So we're gonna do it! Oh, hang on. So, hold on. So Alex actually clarified. Hang on just a second. Alex, Cora, Bianiki. Hang on, I need to kill Blade Javal. Okay, Blade Javal's dead. Alright, so. That's actually a tier 2 sub, not a tier 1 sub. Wish it was more clear about that. Shadows over loathing. And something else. It was in chat. I've lost it. Somewhere. It's already scrolled up. It's already scrolled off. There it is. Arceus. Pokemon Arceus. And Thomas was alone. Not a dormant volcano. It's an active volcano. There's a difference. Let's get some speed. And let's ready to dive bomb. Come here, fish. Yeah. I don't think I got it. Stardew Valley fishing is bad at the start and good at the latter parts. That's still not hate. Hate's a strong word. There's a chest up there. I don't know if I can get that kind of height. Let's try it. Yeah, Pokemon fishing is literally hold A and then hit A when you catch a fish. It's the same as fishing in Raft, for example. There's a deep cut. I'll just grab this chest here. Don't mind me. I don't know what I just got, but they're mine. As they should be. As all things are, really. Whoa, camera. Hello, camera. Camera, camera, camera. There you go. Okay, there we go. Camera get. Oh, I'm sorry, Eva. Here, let me fix it for you. There we go. Oh, God. Okay, here. Oh, God. That is so interesting to control. Hang on, let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, we're going against the wind right now, it looks like. So the wind's just like, no. No. Treasure map! I don't even know what that means. Howdy! Hi. What you doing? Taking a break. Don't tell anyone, alright? I won't. I don't even know who I'd tell. Good. Can't wait to be done today. When my shift's over, I'll be out catching some rare fish. It's my hobby, you see. If you happen to net some fish yourself, bring them to me. I'll trade you coin. I would have had a fishing rod. You know, my friend Bill might be able to lend you one. He's out fishing all the time. Interesting music choice. Uh-oh. Here comes the rain again. Falling on my head like a melody. Makes me feel a new emotion. I feel like I wasn't supposed to be able to do what I just did. Fish! Well, of course I don't have the fishing rod yet. No, I don't know. I mean, you want to be thorough, right, Zactave? Oh, sorry. Still thought I saw an evil duck for a second. Well. Now I have a pickaxe. 2, actually. In fact, I'm about to have 3. Where am I now? Do I have a... Oh, of course I don't have a map. Why would I even ask that? Let's see. Well, there's a mouse, so obviously I'm in Animal Crossing town. Alright, before we go way off the rails, let's back up here. I have no idea where this is. So let's just teleport back here. Into the stormy weather. The storm reminds me of the great darkness that lurks beyond the void, that waits for us all. The end. There is nothing but infinite, bleak horror. Sorry, I was playing Dark Souls for a second there. This is really far from the jet, so let's see what else we got. Yeah, sorry, no parents. You can tell by the music how bleak this game is. Yeah, no kidding, Crazy Norse. Yeah, this is actually a horror game. Of course it is. It's an indie game that looks light, colorful, and happy. Of course it's a horror game. Okay, real talk. Have you noticed how many indie horror games use that exact same formula? Ah, innocence, childlike, horror and death! Like, it's really common. I don't know what... Oh, I have a little bit of camera control. Not a lot. Just a little. It can work, Tim. Yeah, small-headed child, big scary world. Just call that the genre from now on. Definitely not supposed to do that. Alright, let's see if we can make this happen. Trying to maintain height. I guess I can go up here. Height maintained. Oh, hang on. Gotta get the shell. I don't know what shells are for, but by God, there's a thing I can collect, and this is a video game. I don't know how them video games work. Oh, no! No, it's because Amnesia that, no, sorry, not Amnesia. What was the first one? I don't remember. One of them, you know how it is. Someone did a game, it was successful, people emulated it. That's the formula. That's how that's been for a bajillion years. Looks like I need more height to get up there. Limbo, that was it, thank you. I was gonna say, Amnesia has nothing to do with that genre. I should probably mention there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. No, really. There's nothing wrong with seeing something successful and being like, aha, proof of concept. What's wrong with that is what most people do isn't actually take that and run with it. They usually bullet point it. And I know this is going to sound weird and honestly kind of out of date at this point, but once upon a time, there was actually a game company who did exactly that as their primary modus operandi. To look at other ideas from other games and try to implement them better. Blizzard. Think about it. You think Warcraft 3 came out of a vacuum? Or WoW? Or Diablo? Or StarCraft? Ironically, I think I am out of things to do other than go through that teleporter. So we can go through the teleporter, or, we could start the hike. Or we could discover an entirely new island out of the blue. That's an interesting question, Blade Cheval. That would require going into a lot of time in history, which I frankly don't have time for right now. So all I'll say is, WoW Vanilla really was... It was like taking something like, I don't know, Warcraft 3 and grafting EverQuest onto it. No, Diablo 1 was definitely not the originator of that genre. As we'll talk about during the Diablo review series, which will be soonish. And by soonish, I mean probably in about 2 weeks, give or take. Look, in my defense, Alex, I really wasn't expecting there to be a whole other island. Where am I? Who are you? Find me 15 shells. What? Why? I want them. Yeah, but why? It's a secret. Okay. I'll keep an eye. Keep both eyes out. Alright, jeez. Where am I? I'm actually turned around now. Good question, Jay Palmer. We're definitely going to do the Diablo review around the Diablo rewrite. I'm just not sure which one will be first, and I'm not even sure it matters, as long as they're happening close to the same time. That would be funny, Alex. Alright, we do the hike. Game over. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Doralis. As always. If you want to put that towards up to 2 other things, please let me know. Damn it. Like, all of the timestamps I'm getting for the highlight reel are all 3s, which means, you know, a highlight happened like a minute ago. So, sorry, anybody who's doing a highlight reel of this, whose name is Walker. It's on me. Well, what the crap is wrong with you, Magister? You are just clearly diseased, wrong in the head. I'm afraid we're going to have to do a lobotomy. Make sure that you don't infect the others. Oh, hello. Hey, Claire. How's the day treating you? Well, I'm just getting out of the house now. It's one of those kind of days. Yeah, I've been kind of caught up in my head all morning. Would you say you feel lost and directionless? Maybe? Well, I got just the thing for you. You got the compass. To use it, press Y and select it from items. Thanks. This should come in handy. Stick. Not sure why I picked this up. Pickaxes. Might be able to break things. Stick. Again. Coin. Great for buying stuff and feeling secure. Compass. Toggle on or off. Map. 10 shells and a cell phone. Not even the games work offline. Ugh! I hate online-only games. Okay, we now have compass. I'm so sorry, Mr. Red. His vessel was lost on the water, but the beacon found and caught her. So he buried his trade at the end of its shade to keep the safe for the Lightkeeper's daughter. Yeah, okay, that's not. We're never figuring that out. We give up. Immediately. Hey, dude. What's happening? Oh, you know. Jamming out on the beach. Building sand castles and whatnot. I almost said snow castles. Sounds like a good time. You know it. Can I borrow your shovel? Sorry, bud. I need it for sandcastle construction. Isn't it a little big for that? Yeah, but that's just how shovels are. You can get smaller ones. One's made for sandcastles. What? Sounds fake. But if you can show me one, I'll be glad to trade. We got like 3 quests now, just from roaming around. Oh, I miss these things. Climb! Climb! How do I climb? What are you up to today? I'm hiking up to Hawk Peak. That's a tough hike. You know, you'll need to learn a rock climb to make it to the top. Why not join a rock climbing club? Oh, it's just the 2 of you? Hey! Rock Climbers Association has hundreds of members spanning over 35 countries worldwide. Good luck, Uthor. If it makes you feel any better, we're currently dealing with a literally catastrophic efficiency throughput problem because we literally do not have enough iron and copper. Not for everything else, but for only one reason. To make green circuit chips. Because we need, put simply, for every 1 blue, we need 2 red. And for every 1 red, we need 2 green. So we need to roughly quintuple our green circuit production in order to keep up. And that's going to require way more resources than we have. So we're still trying to solve that problem. Hundreds of members growing and refining the art of rock climbing. Pushing the craft to its absolute limit and beyond. I meant, if it's just the 2 of you, like, here? What of it? Listen, kid, climbing ain't for the weak of heart. Most people don't have what it takes. I think that was, like, nobody was donating for that. I think that was a dead fruit one, Falkenstein. But if you can't find it, it's not there. It's not really that bad. So anyway, you want to join the Climbers Club? Yeah, sure. Great. Got our 3rd member. Not 3rd. Just another drop in the hundreds worldwide. All right. Anyway, first things first. You got a golden feather? No. You can't climb without a golden feather. So apparently we could buy them at the visitor center. In addition to finding that one that was on that cliff earlier. Hello. Heard some rumors. Do you like rumors? Dabble. Hear me out. Jim just bought a metal detector. He was running around yesterday looking for stuff around the island. It was going nutso. Seems like there's stuff buried all over the island. What kind of stuff? Metal stuff? Thanks. Informative. I'm actually not lost yet, no. I am roaming. And what's really, really disturbing in a Breath of the Wild kind of way is I haven't ran out of locations to roam to yet. My to-do list is growing larger, not smaller, and it's frightening. Like, I gotta get the shovel by finding a smaller shovel. I gotta get the feather to be able to climb. I've gotta get the fishing rod in order to be able to go fish. And, God, I don't even remember what else. There's several things still. It is a horror game. The horror of never being done. I don't think I have a quest log, because this is my menu right here. Try a scenic trek to Outlook Point or follow Hawk Peak Trail up the highest point in the province. Although the island's known for its titular mountain peak, it's also home to a number of beautiful beaches and forests. Did you know the infamous local beach, Strawberries and Toast, was invented here at Hawk Peak? Please join us at 5 p.m. to enjoy a delicious serving of this historical dish. Also, as an addendum, Lore Runner has a website. How can I help you? I heard you sell golden feathers. How we do? You can buy one for 40 coins! What else do you got? Provincial Park merchandise. Kind of low in stock. That's good, actually. It's been a busy season. Provincial Parks must be trending or something. It's possible. Anyway, only have one hat left. 100 coins. Done! Cosmetics. You're all out of cash now. How about I throw in a free golden feather? Oh, thank you. I was buying the... I literally just bought the cosmetic instead of the quest item. And he just gave me the quest item. If you press A while in midair, you can flap your wings for a double jump. But that's not all. You climb a wall, push against it, hold A. The more golden feathers you have, the more you'll be able to climb them and fly. Well, it sounds like those are consumables. Now, where's my hat? Yeah! Yeah! Oh, yeah. Let me have some delicious manly tea here. The original gangsta. Listen, if you don't have a feather, how can you tickle yourself as you're climbing? There'll be a marathon race at Meteor Lake today. Competition this year is fierce. There's no link for the to-do list. Hey, what you painting? Oh, you can't tell? It's an acorn. It's supposed to be the coastline. That's not the coastline. I'm trying to go for a more abstract look. I think I can see it now. Still a work in progress, but I don't know if I know where it's going. I think I'm going to head over to the Blackwood Forest Lighthouse soon. I'm still trying to find the right inspiration. I got you, fam. Done! Image improved. Gotta stop killing people's eyes. And yeah, I see it. Small shovel. Okay, yeah, look, it refills. Do you see in the lower left? Each golden feather gives us another jump. If I were to guess. Is this a Unity game? I didn't even look earlier. Let's see if we can make this happen. Nope. We need a second one. Ping to you, Space Cadet. God. Okay, so I think I'm going this way. Yes. Okay, here we go. Check out the shovel I found. Might be a little more your size. Oh, it's perfect. Let's try. You got the shovel. You want to use it? Press Y and equip it. Keep it fresh. You got it. I'm not even going to destroy your sandcastle out of pure spite. I'm that kind of guy. Ooh, whoa. Money. Yeah, I wanted to get that first. Ooh, and the shell. Gotta get the shell. And the money just lying around. What is this, Pokemon? Sis and I were talking about the FF3 rewrite, because she's my most common writing collaborator, right? And we were discussing whether or not the main protagonist of FF3 should be 10 or, closer to 20. The reason we decided on closer to 20 is because the 10-year-old thing only really works in an idyllic setting like, say, Pokemon. So I just wanted to say, there's one other person in the universe that agrees with me that Pokemon is not horrible. Just the one. Everybody in chat's like, it's the grimmest, darkest thing in the known history of the universe. But I disagree. Alright, so to get started, you can try climbing the short wall. Just push against it and hold A. Nice one. Whatever. That's climb is easy. Real pros use the big wall. Okay. But we don't have enough feathers. But we can make this happen. We have the power. Once we refill. Whoa, okay. Hang on. Good climbing. Yeah, that was alright. So, I know you can fly and all, but your stamina will last longer if you climb places instead. Just keep something in mind. Cool. So what's next? To Hawk Peak! Oh, okay. I still need to warm up myself, but I'll see you up there. Alright. It's what I like to call the Pokemon joke, Magister, because it's like, oh, yay, it's evil and dark and horrible, and it's like, yeah, okay. It's secretly cockfighting. Yeah, sure, whatever. Grim darkness. I am not joking, Alex. I hear that all the time. It irritates me. Every time I stream Pokemon, I get at least 1 or 5 or 20 people in chat who have that exact same mentality, and I've stopped, responding to those people because I'm sick of it. That's not what I was expecting to happen! I can make it! I can make it! Ah! I couldn't make it. As in real life, I am a failure. What do you got against penguins, Evo? Jesus, I thought I knew you, but... I was planning on hiking to Hawk Peak, but the path got real steep. What, do you think it's climbable? Oh, it would be if I had a golden feather. Well, I can't help you with that. On my way out! Oh, penguins are super delicious. But not as delicious as orangutans. Orangutans. Excuse me, do you have the time? Yeah, let me see. Normally I would know the time. I just lost my watch. Sorry. It was very expensive and priceless when you consider sentimental value. If you find it, can you bring it back to me? Sure. Please don't sell it on the internet or whatever. It's very valuable to me. No, don't worry. I'll bring it right back. Okay, thanks. Hey, I found it. And now I'm gonna rob it. Because this is a grim, dark game. Filled with grittiness and darkness. Just like the bleak, existential darkness of my soul darkness. Nom, nom, nom. So let's see if we can get 2 of these. We can! Nice. Okay. Hawkpeak Trail's a strenuous hike. You might need golden feathers to complete it. Okay, God! My nephew's running in the marathon. He's been out trailing all morning. If you see him out there, make sure he's taking breaks. Yes, remember to take breaks. Okay, real talk. So I was having trouble sleeping last night. So I'm only running on about 5 hours right now. But it's okay. It's okay. Because I'm not doing highlight reels anymore. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was the last one I was doing a highlight reel for. So I'm actually going to try and actually lay down during my lunch break this time. I know that's a shocking and bizarre concept. How many people do you think are going to whine about the removal of the highlight reels? Which will be doubly funny because I also got a lot of people whining about the introduction of the highlight reels. I've already heard one person whine, Jay Palmer. Actually, that's not true. I've heard several people complain. I've heard one person whine. I mean, if I'm being honest, the person who's most upset about the removal of the highlight reels is probably me. That's the thing I don't think some people understand. I actually want the highlight reels to continue. I just don't have the power to. You know, I have lost. Failure, worthless, etc. So it's not like this is a... I just hate doing things, or I'm lazy. Like, of all the things, of all the negative things I've thought about myself, or heard from my family over the years, laziness isn't one of them. You can't really accuse me of being lazy. doesn't really work that way. It's sort of like complaining that this popsicle isn't cold or something. Like, it's... No. Looks like I could just go up the waterfalls, Crazy Rose. Jesus. Couldn't have even tried that. There's a lot of trails around here. Let's go down. We're going too far up. Maybe go into this castle. I was always part salmon. And there's a chest. There's a golden chest on top of the castle. Well, see, that's the thing, Tim. I would prefer that you complain, but not whine. That's the distinction. That's the kicker right there. Another golden feather. Holy shkamoli. So, some people are asking, what's so bad about doing the highlight reels? 2 treasure maps now. And anybody asking that, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, it's never worked a full-time job in the manner that I'm about to describe. So here's the deal. I want you to imagine that you're working your full-time job. You probably know what that feels like because you probably worked a full-time job. Now I want you to imagine that you get an hour break. Cool. That hour break has to involve you doing everything. Going to the bathroom, getting food, cooking food. You have to actually go and any kind of resting or camera work, whatever. All that, anything you're going to be doing there has to squeeze into an hour. And you have to be back there on time, ready to go. Honestly, probably about 5 minutes before you're actually supposed to be ready to start again, okay? Now that already sounds like a whole thing, and that's kind of the point. But hang on. What if your boss says, all right, I want you every single break that you get to lose about 30 minutes of it to do extra work. So now you're being squished from an hour to 30 minutes. Hang on, it gets worse. Because you also have to do that every night when you get off work. So that's about, give or take, 7 extra hours of work that you have to do every week. Or just an hour a day, if you prefer. Now, that may or may not sound as terrible as it actually is. But the problem there, unpaid. Problem there, and I don't want to stress this, because in no way do I want to sound ungrateful. I love doing the highlight reels. I actually do enjoy doing that. Yeah, it also involves a bit of work. I'm not even getting into that. But the real problem is it's the FF14 problem. Let me try to explain that a little bit here. Whenever I finish, like streaming takes a lot of energy to do, right? Now, I'm not complaining. I love my job, and I like to do it. It's just, when I hit 1 o'clock, or whatever, when I hit lunch break, it's just like, and I just need that moment to de-gauze, right? To recharge my batteries slightly. But if I'm doing the highlight reel, I can't. There's no time in which to do that. I have to immediately, without pause, without hesitation, like, literally, I hit stop recording, and then I immediately drag the file, which I just plundered, what? Which I just rendered, into Premiere, and then I gotta, pull up the timestamps, and, look at the timestamps, interpret the timestamps, because I got a whole system for that, start doing the actual editing, finish that, then I have to immediately get up, get the food, go to the bathroom, wash my face, do some stretches, sit down, eat, and then probably still be late to start again. There's no pause. Does that make sense? So I'm just working 9-hour shifts at that point. And I can do that. I have done that. But the thing is, by the time I get to about Thursday, and definitely by the time I get to Friday, I'm done. And my work shift doesn't end on Friday. My work shift ends on Saturday. Saturday evening. You get my point? Again, I've lost. I have lost. And I just need to acknowledge that I am not as young as I used to be, and I just cannot keep up a 12-hour-a-day, work schedule anymore. That's all there is to that. How did they get a tractor up here? Yeah, no, I enjoy my job a great deal. There are very few jobs I would rather do than this one. If I'm being honest, I'm actually doing most of the other jobs I prefer to do. That's kind of what the rewrite is. By the way, just because I'm curious, is anybody at all hyped for the Diablo rewrite, other than me? We're very close to release. Right now I'm missing lines from 2 people. And once those 2 people's lines are in, all that will be left is finalizing the intro, doing some timing animation, and then doing the credits. And I've actually already built the credits. So I say just. It's going to be a decent chunk of work. But the point is, that's pretty soon. Like we're hopefully at the point now where it'll be coming out in just a couple weeks. In fact, I actually want it to come live on April 1st. You might think, why? Well, as much as I've been enjoying the Star Wars saga, part of the point... So, my favorite type of April Fools is the April Fools that's actually real. You know, April Fools! Here's the FF6 remake. It's actually really out. That's my favorite type of April Fools. So, what was supposed to happen was we started doing the I started doing the Star Wars sequel trilogy April Fool's thing 3 years ago at this point. And that was supposed to segue into the Trek rewrite going live, and then time and schedule got in the way of that. So I've just been sort of spinning my wheels a little bit on the April Fool's saga, which I don't know what else to call other than the April Fool's saga, until I was ready for one of the rewrites to actually go live. And here we are. So, really want that to go live on the 1st, because that would line up perfectly. Sense make? There's other reasons that would line up well, too. Obviously, the Diablo review stream is very soon, and I've got some other scheduling things I'm not going to bore you with, but you get the point. Hi, my name's Avery. I'm on a quest to become a parkour racing master. Neat. You bet your bottom dollar it's neat. However, I'm trying to find someone to practice with. So, any chance you want to go for a race? Sure. Fantastic. So this is abandoned building to the west of here. At least, I think it's abandoned. Anyway, I'm thinking we should race to the top of it. Whoever touches the post up there first wins. And also, we should only use 5 golden feathers. I only have 3. That'll make it more interesting. You ready? Let's race. Actually, you might want to find a pair of running shoes. Okay. Oh, that's another thing we need. God, our question. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Why is this place so big? Oh, I think I know where I am. Okay. So, is the rewrite going to be released in parts? Believe it or not, I don't know yet. It depends on how long the finished product is, which I actually can't tell you right now, because it's not done yet. Until all the timing is in place, I can't tell you how long the rewrite will be. That's sort of how that works. So what is the Diablo rewrite? Tim mentioned that earlier. Tim said, I hate you, Lord, you're dumb, you're stupid, and I just want to spit on your ugly face. Now, all of those are valid points. But what the Diablo rewrite is it's the rewrite project done for the Diablo series, the entire franchise, 1 through 3, plus the books. Now, if you don't know what a rewrite is, well, that's a little bit harder to define, because on the one hand, it's exactly what it sounds like. But on the other hand, well, I actually have a lot of personal methodology and rules for how I do a rewrite. So, the basic concept is exactly what it sounds like. Let's establish, let's look at something that I want to rewrite, for whatever reason. Maybe it's crap, maybe it wasn't thought out in advance, maybe it's actually really good, I just want to do my take on it. But by mere virtue of the term rewrite, the idea is not to simply polish it up a little bit, but to, again, reimagine it. Rewrite, reimagine, that's actually the same terminology. They mean the same thing, right? In other words, what if I was given the reins of making the Diablo franchise and decided to do so right now? That's the other proviso I've given to myself. None of the limitations that were placed upon by virtue of time or meddling. Right? let me use a specific example. In Star Trek, especially The Next Generation, one of the biggest reasons why Star Trek has so little continuity is not because the writers don't want to have continuity. It's actually specifically because there are legal loopholes and difficulties in constantly referencing things that were brought up in previous episodes. Hollywood writers' rules and royalties fees and all that are very specific and precise in how they should be paid out. So, they'll do it occasionally, especially when they feel it's worthwhile, and whenever they can get away with it. But in general, there will always be someone saying, don't do that. We also don't have the problem of having to deal with guest stars who may or may not be available, or actors who may or may not be available, or just general real-life interference, right? I think I'm getting too high. We're getting too high. Abort! Abort! Yeah, we don't have to have the godlike aliens quota of Gene Roddenberry, for example. Probably Jay Palmer. Although it might not be a full commenter. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway. I do have to deal with actors. So, you know, that is a thing. The good news is my actors are pretty legit. And also, it's a lot less of a hassle to, you know, say, hey, Savacom, could you do this line? Sure. And then it's done. As opposed to, hey, Savacom, can you do this line? And also, now that it's been 3 years since I asked you to do that line, I've decided to bring your character back for another episode. Can you do that another line for that character 3 real-life years later? Like, there's issues, you know, that we're just kind of bypassing. It's one of the reasons I don't let my actors even start doing lines or auditioning for roles until I have the entire script done. And yes, that means when we get to the Star Trek rewrite, I will not allow people to audition until all of Enterprise is mapped out, for example. There's also more with regards to more continuity. Well, I shouldn't say more continuity. More emphasis on good storytelling is actually what I want to call that, which may or may not include continuity. How long did the Diablo script take? About 2 days. I actually kept track of that. Because, you know, throughput, and the Diablo rewrite, so you're probably wondering, why did we do Diablo first, right? The reason we did Diablo first is because I missed that hole. It's very important. The reason we did Diablo first is as a tutorial, which is how I do everything, essentially. I like to start small and work my way up from there. It's something relatively short, it's something I know extraordinarily well, and it's something that I do feel is in the purview of, you know, something I would be interested in rewriting. It was actually suggested by Lower Loaded, so I'll give him full credit on that. So, the Diablo rewrite is the tutorial rewrite. Not just for, you know, me, as the producer and editor and writer and director and caster, but also for what people are going to think of it. What I anticipate at the moment is that people, like, maybe like 300 people will watch the Diablo rewrite, and they'll say, wow, this is dumb, and they'll immediately stop watching it. But as long as at least a few people watch and enjoy it, that's about all I can hope for. Same thing with the theaters, really. It's okay, Evo. You really only have one drawing left to do. Hey, we finally made it back to town. Holy crap. Don't panic, Evo. Don't do it, Evo. Relax. Relax. Unless I get the other 2 lines today, then panic! Panic! Sorry, I shouldn't joke about that. I'm sorry. Don't panic. Don't panic. We also have a specific style in mind for the rewrite. It's not very visually interesting. Now, I don't mean that to say that, to cast negativity on Evo's wonderful drawings, which she's been doing for the Diablo rewrite, which she will only be doing for the Diablo rewrite, because she's been working her hand to the bone on that. Was it 47 drawings or some nonsense like that? But what I mean by that is, I am more than capable of doing a substantially more involved and in-depth animation. You know, doing essentially full animation for a rewrite video. That would roughly quintuple the amount of time spent on any given rewrite project. This was actually the biggest sticking point and the biggest reason why the rewrite project has been stalled for literally 3 years at this point. Some of you may or may not remember the Star Trek rewrite project was actually getting started back when I was covering TNG, which is a long time ago. But the biggest problem we kept running into is how do I present it? And me and Reloaded beat our heads against the wall for, again, a couple years, trying to come up with some way to visually present the ideas and the structure of it in a way that people would find entertaining. And that was a problem. Oh, I love doing the rewrite. It's probably the most satisfying thing I do in my life right now. Professionally. Obviously, the most satisfying thing I do in my life right now is help my niece learn how to pedal a bicycle, which she has started successfully doing. And then playing hide and seek with her, obviously. Stupid. I'm not gonna answer that. Hey, it's you again. Yep. Classic me again. So, what do you think about this so far? Oh, this is really good. It's like better than real life. It's not as good as Evo's stuff, but it's pretty good. Well, I don't think I can compete with real life, but I'm happy with it so far. I don't know if it'll fit into my exhibit, though. I'm trying to come up with something more interesting. I'm going to follow one of the rivers up to the source. I have an idea for a painting from that perspective. Okay. See you up there. So hold on. Is that over here? I'm slightly turned around. But mostly because there's a specific spot. I could just go there. But let's just do that. Let's just follow the power lines. Into the power line. Bzz. Delicious ads. Nope, that's the silliest, dumbest, most insane thing I've ever written, Tim. Any financial support of the show counts. Also, some non-financial support of the show counts. I do not make any money off of ads on YouTube or Twitch. Okay, that's where I thought this was. He's already got this golden feather. Already talked to you. Hi! Are you okay? Not really. I'm supposed to run a marathon race today, but I've lost my lucky headband. I've worn it to every race I've ever run. I don't know if I could race without it. Where'd you lose it? Somewhere in Blackwood Forest, I think. I can take a look for you. Really? You'd do that for me? Sure. It's a red headband. I can give you a reward. I give you a pair of running shoes. Don't you need those yourself? Well, I just got sponsored by the shoe company. They gave me like 10 pairs. Whoa, congrats. Oh, thanks. But, let me know if you see a red headband. Yeah, sure. So how do golden feathers work? Oh, I've actually already... Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. Well, it's somewhere in the forest. I have a good feeling about this. Yes, Triaxion. There's a pencil. Very embarrassed about that pencil. Streamlabs is PayPal. DonorBox is actually Stripe. As for who gives me the most money, that's kind of a matter of perspective. So, I feel like the website actually covers this, because this is not new information at all. The way it works is if you're going to donate a small amount of money, you should probably just do a sub or something. Or sign up on Patreon. Twitch takes 50%, that's 50% of the money you give me through subs. Now, there's some asterisks to that, but that's really the only thing you need to know there. 50%. Patreon takes 15, that's 15%. Now, PayPal takes an extraordinarily small percent. It's like 1.3, or sometimes less than that. Here's the deal. PayPal also charges a per transaction fee. And that can usually eat up the majority of the donation. So if you donate $10, then they take a minuscule percent of that. If you donate $50, they take an even minusculer percent of that. If you donate $1, I get like 20 cents out of that. Sounds Mike? Nevertheless, for single donations, PayPal is usually the best, because they charge me the least, technically. However, the actual least charge to me is when you are charged instead of me, which I obviously don't recommend, for obvious reasons. You're paying the surcharge instead of me. That would be Twitch Bits, where you pay for the transaction fee instead of me. So if you donate $1 in Twitch Bits, I get $1, but it costs you more than $1. Sounds Mike? Correct, Tastenhauer. That is the, like, dollar I just mentioned. Honestly, if you're donating anywhere from, like, 5 and up, you're fine on PayPal. That minuscule donation, the minuscule fee that PayPal charges really only matters for, like, $1 or $2 donations. Which is why I mention it. This is a large forest. You, give me your headband. Weird question, but where'd you get that headband? I don't know. Had it for ages. Why? Oh, well. I was just talking to this rabbit. She said she lost her headband somewhere in the forest. Oh, you mean Sue? Maybe. I didn't get her name. She was really worried about it, though. She said it was lucky and she needs it to race. I'm supposed to race her later today. She's so talented, I've really been looking forward to it. What if I gave you... Fine. Pretty sure it's the same kind. Maybe she wouldn't notice? But then it wouldn't be lucky? I don't know. Just take it. See if she wants it. Thanks. That's really nice of you. Maybe this isn't the Pokemon setting. Lord. Nice people being nice to each other is weird. Wasn't my idea, Crazy Horse. Give me your money. Not in real life. Only from the rock. Rock money. Okay. So are there speedruns for this game? Just curious. I gotta be clear, Savacom, just to make sure. I will, thank you. Listen, you can only shovel rocks, obviously. Well, I found this. That's not it. Sweat stains aren't in the right place. Ew. Where'd you find this? Actually, the turtle gave it to me. They said you could have it. They're looking forward to the race and didn't want you to miss it. What? Really? Taylor the turtle? They're like the regional champion. This headband has to be like at least twice as lucky. Possibly even quadruple lucky. Okay, I'll take it. I'm so pumped! Take these running shoes. Thanks. You can hold X to run... X, really? To run with it. However, just keep in mind running requires golden feathers. As all things do. Golden feathers when you need to jump, fly, or run. Remember. Floor Runner brand feathers. $33 seconds. Wow. Wait, is this what Firewatch is like? That should be interesting. No. The exact opposite of that, Tim. The exact opposite of that. PayPal is the worst for small donations. It is literally the worst option. There is no option worse than PayPal for small donations. I need to update the fact. I swear all that info is on the fact, because none of that's changed. Like, none of that's new information. I believe Savicom is the one and only person who's ever suggested funding a speedrun. Bless her heart for that. How much would I get from $1 through PayPal? Actually, at this point, it would probably be less, but just a few cents. Yeah, here's a fact. Maybe I need to just tear it down. Say, hey, if you got any questions, bug me on stream. Tim's doing right now, because apparently the fact is that terrible. Jesus. Alright, graveyards. My favorite place. Okay, yep. Patreon takes 15%. That is correct. That is 100% correct. Here. Hang on. Let's just... I'm sorry, Walker. Give me a second. Let's just go to the website really quick. In fact, here, hang on. Oh, I don't have it linked. Oh, whatever. I'll just pull it up here. Back. Alright, so... Oh, I need to delete all of this. So let's go ahead and delete all this stuff. We're just going to delete it. We're deleting everything. Everything's getting deleted. Actually, I'm not really joking. Pretty much everything's getting deleted here. So we need to get rid of all of this. Because there are no ruminations and there are no TV shows anymore. I mean, there's the streaminations, but that's a different thing. So then the streams. What is a lore run? What's a premiere run? Doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, this needs to be rerouted. Rewritten. Okay, so let's get rid of all of this. God dang it, this thing is terribly formatted. Why is it doing this? Yep, it's time to rewrite the Lore Runner website. Man, I typed up a lot of crap for this too, and it's all gone. All right. Now let's see how badly we just screwed up the formatting there. Let's see. Oh, that's not too bad. It's a little bad. It's a little bad. Hang on, let's fix that. Let's fix that. Because we need... Why is that like that? What is that doing? All those pages of questions gone! For you, there will be no tomorrow. Instead, what we have is the lore run, premiere run, which needs to go away. There's the funding. What's a classic run? Doesn't matter what's tabletop night. Doesn't exist anymore. What's a chill run? Doesn't exist anymore. When is streams happening? That's actually inaccurate information. What's the spoiler policy? That's correct. Lore extant is correct. But Patreon, let's check this out. So, Patreon and Twitch subscriptions are both monthly. Twitch offers 4 ways of subscription. Free, which has to be done manually every month, and then a 5, 10, and 25 subscription. Tier 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Twitch gains 50% of all of these, of most of these, 40% of Tier 2, 30% of Tier 3. All of that is still 100% true, and should not have actually been asked of me on chat 5 seconds ago. Patreon offers one method of subscription. You sign up, you say how much you do, minimum is 1, you can put however much. Patreon claims 15%. PayPal donations are once only and claim a very small percent of quote, close to 1.5%. There's also Stripe for those seeking a monthly option that is not Patreon, which also takes 50%. Finally, there's Twitch Bits, which shifts the cost to you rather than me. All of that's 100% clear. What is not clear about that? That is exactly correct information. None of that needs to be changed. Why is this being weird? Where is the underline? Is this it? That might be it. Like, I have to change the stream section, but the section about donation is exactly correct. That's true. I don't mention that little transaction fee. That is admittedly a new thing. I didn't think I needed to mention that, to be completely honest with you. I still don't think I need to mention that, to be completely honest with you. However, I will add a line right here saying exactly that. So that's PayPal. So that's going to be right here. PayPal also includes a transaction fee. So if you are donating a very small amount, please do not use PayPal, period, update, done. Moving on. Back to the game. See you around, Alex. Have a good day at work. How about that race? Let's race. Oh, Jesus. She's just going. Look at her. Look. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know where I'm going to. I'm already behind. Gotta go. Must go faster. Must go faster. I don't know where the goal is. I'm just making it up as I go. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. No. No. Getting stuck on geometry. God, this is Mario 64 all over again. Some people. That's a good thing, right? No! Mario 64 is not that good of a game. This is the wrong route to take, but I'm still taking it. Ugh! Oh my god, I made it. Okay. I have to admit, you're good. No, I'm not. But, I feel like I was just getting warmed up. Why not join the marathon? There's this big race happening today. Well, it's a little embarrassing, but I was supposed to run the marathon today, but it turns out I missed registration. Oh, sorry, that sucks. I gotta say, I was pretty bummed out. Kind of felt like giving up on racing. But then I spent like 2 hours watching parkour videos, and now my new passion is parkour racing! Hashtag relatable. So whatever. I'm glad you were willing to help me practice. You're welcome. I guess. I mean, Mario 64 is a net positive game. That's about what I'm willing to say about that. That I haven't already said because I've already reviewed it under current system. I completely missed your cheer because I was in the middle of 15 other things. Ah! Thank you, Eclectic Oak. For the sake of information, since it literally just came up, do you mind telling me how much that cost you, Eclectic Oak? The $45 you just gave me? How much did it cost you? Because as we've already described Twitch bits, I get the full amount, but you pay the transaction fee. So we've got Heaven's Vault, Helltaker, and Temple of Snack. Never going to get used to that. Thank you again, Eclectic, very much. Okay, so we did the race, we got the running shoes. I think it's time to go head to the marathon area, because we still don't have several other things. God, that water's really... Look at that. That's not a small amount. Oh god, the whole island's sinking. I sincerely doubt it, Tim. Twitch bits are not a cryptocurrency, not even technically. Jesus, that's actually more than that should be, Eclectic. So, I'm going to now officially stop recommending people use Twitch bits because it appears they've raised their rates. It used to be they charged about 15%, which, you know, is a normal transaction fee. It looks like they've gone above that. So, don't use Twitch bits, they suck. What are bits? I'm not repeating myself. I'm sorry, we literally just stopped the stream to talk about that for like 10 minutes. It's money. It's a form of donating to the stream. There you go. There's the one sentence answer. Don't use them ever again. Thank you for the support, Flagant. Or not Flagant. You're the person who just talked. Thank you for the support, Eclectic. Please never use bits again. Why would it cost more? Oh, no, that actually makes sense. Okay, do not press. Use Patreon or PayPal if you want emotes or to not have ads. Subscribe on Twitch. Yeah, $64.40 for 5,000 bits. That's ridiculous. That is a $14.40 surcharge. That has definitely gone up. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the FAQ later to say, do not use Twitch bits. And yeah, I'm gonna start saying that every time someone donates bits. I'm gonna say, please stop using these. Jesus. 28.8%. God damn. That's almost as bad. No, that is actually worse. That's worse than what my car dealer was trying to sell me. Remember that story? 19% APR. Bull crap. That's terrible. Don't ever use bits again. Eclectic, are you there? You know, I don't actually remember what APR stands for off the top of my head, but I know what it means. It's how much additional interest they're charging on a loan. Annual percentage yield. Thank you. Yeah, they were trying. So apparently, what they're. So when I had to get a new car last January, it is now paid off. The car dealership was like, yeah, no, we'll get you set up with a loan right now. All right, so looking at your info, yep, nope, we got you a really good deal here at 19%. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to my bank, which is just down the road, and I'm going to ask them for a car loan because you're an idiot. I didn't say that part. Based on my tone and body language, the guy thought he lost the sale. And to be completely honest, he almost did. But I was able to go to the bank and get, oh god, what was it? It was like a 1.3% APR. Which is a little more reasonable. In fact, I think I actually went technically lower than that, because I got a 1-year loan instead of like a 5 or a 10-year loan. Hence, like I said, I've already paid the car off. Yeah, I have really good credit. Go figure. Probably because I do actually have all the hallmarks of good credit, in addition to, you know, no outstanding debts, and good payment schedule, and of course, a registered LLC in my name. Which, of all the weird things that you wouldn't expect from that does actually help my credit rating. Go figure. Well, of course they're disappointed. There were some used car salesmen, this is back in the day, I don't know if this is still true, who would refuse you if you tried to pay in cash. I know this because I've been physically present for this happening, since my mother usually preferred to pay in cash in order to avoid this kind of predatory bullcrap. It helps me, Walker. I don't know if it'll help you. Don't consider that a financial tip. I was surprised as you are. The Helianthus disultanthus rubber flower. The official flower. This unique species blooms instantly in flash flooding conditions, inflating like a water balloon. Be experiencing for yourself with one of the park's communal water buckets. All buckets are property of the park. Please do not remove buckets from the park. My bucket! I don't think I can fly or climb carrying a bucket, but I could probably still glide. Oh god, there were so many of these. The worst someone ever tried to rip me off? Oh, I'd have to search for that. A lot of people have tried to rip me off over the years. Very few of them have succeeded. Now, I'd like to say none of them have succeeded, but no, I'm a human being who makes stupid decisions just like everybody does. Can you live your life ignoring your credit score? Yes. Being completely honest, there are 3 primary reasons you would care about your credit score here in the United States. Oh, Luthor, yes, please. Reason number 1. is you want to buy a car, and reason number 2 is you want to buy a house, and reason number 3 is you want to take a loan for any other reason, usually business related. If you don't want to do any of those 3 things in your life, you're good. Don't worry about it. I know, Huthor. It's still true. I actually have excellent credit, which means if I ever do somehow successfully manage to buy a house, I will be physically capable of doing so, provided that the market stops being the most incredibly stupid thing in the known universe. Has anyone accused my show of scamming? Yes! I can mark that one off the bucket list. I have officially been accused of being a scam artist. By a moron. Any questions? No idea, Magister. Like, okay, so... Unfortunately, yes, Eclectic. So, the person... So, fun fact. Pro tip. If you ever find me on Instagram, that's not me. That's someone impersonating me. I don't know whom. They're doing it in a very... Good fortune, Ryman. They're doing it in a very weird way. Usually, when someone tries to impersonate someone else, they do it for a joke or a meme or some malicious intent. That means, by definition, that they want the account to be public and as viewable by as many people as possible. Don't do it, Malin! Don't do... Thank you, Malin, for the bits. Please never use the bits again. But in this case, they have gone out of their way to keep the account private. Now, if you don't understand how that works in Instagram, that would be nice, Blue Up Alex. I hope that for all countries, not just the one I live in, because like Spain, holy crap. Anyways, one second. What remains of Edith Finch? Dead Cells, Firewatch. So for those of you who don't know how Instagram works, if they have privatized the account, nobody can see it. So they can't just do that to meme or joke on because nobody's looking at it. Nobody can look at it. Oh no, they're impersonating Lore Runner. In fact, the specific picture they have is a very old picture from my Twitter. We're talking like 7-year-old picture on my Twitter account. Like, I recognized the picture the moment I saw it. And yes, public picture, obviously. It probably is, if we're being honest, Savicom. But yeah, the fact that it's just being squatted on in private is very weird. Now, you're probably thinking, hold on. What are you going to do about that? Well, I'm going to do exactly what I can do about that, which is absolutely nothing. I'm going to continue to inform people that that's not me. I don't have an Instagram... Oh, actually, I do now have an Instagram account, but I functionally do not have an Instagram account. And as a direct consequence, do not look at. Did I lose the bucket? I lost the bucket. How am I supposed to get to this one, then? I don't understand the question, Walker. I should mention that nothing I have anywhere links to an Instagram. In fact, I only found out about this because one of my viewers who does artwork has an Instagram account, tagged me, and was like, hey, why didn't you comment on this on stream? And I was like, what? And that was pretty much my reaction. Huh? And that led to, you know, me getting legitimately angry that someone was impersonating me on Instagram. Okay, looks like it's further up. I mean, I can report them for impersonation, which of course I've already done. I'm sure that that will accomplish exactly screw all. But, you know. Thank you for the sub, Tim. As usual, if you want to put that towards up to 3 things, which I should also put on the back, please let me know. I mean, that... So, for some of you may or may not know that there is a Twitch account called Lore Runner. What all of you should be aware of is that is not me. Like, that's old news at that point. Because that account has existed since before I made this account. I actually know the specific person who is holding that account ransom. I never paid that ransom, obviously, and they just kind of squatted on it as an act of spite. Now, what I find vaguely satisfying is nobody has ever confused that account for me. Probably because Twitch is a little bit harsher about impersonation rules, and it's a lot easier for me to prove I'm me on Twitch than it is on other platforms. So, you know, yay. Yeah, the Arshian Gaia account is actually still there. Ironically, I am technically squatting on several names. It's just all of those names happen to be Lore Runner. Just in case. Okay, so Hollow Cure. Please help me out here, Tim. What is Hollow Cure? Where'd the bucket go? Oh my god, I just have the bucket on me! I just came all the way back up here to get the bucket, and it's just in my inventory. So, you'd like to put it towards Hollow Cure, which is a new game. So that means you're going to put it towards one thing. What's your backup? Now, if you type !backup in chat right now, you'll see exactly what the backup concept is. Thank you, Flagend. Gorogoa. So, is Gorogoa on the list? Because I do not recognize that name. I don't know why I pronounced that so strangely. Oh, we have a lot of money. This painting isn't working. What? I like it. Thanks. This park is special to me. But I don't think I'm going to impress anyone with these. Hey, I'm impressed. I mean, like, leave an impression on anyone. I have to show people that I'm achieving something worthwhile, like, academically. I heard there's a graveyard in the shadow of the mountain. I'm going to try that next. By the graveyard. I don't know. Just want to try something different. Okay. Yeah, we need to ban that Nightbot for spamming, I think. Yeah, me too, silly idea. Me too. I decided to bend the rules on that mail-in because What Remains of Edith Finch was on the list. It just got trimmed because of being dead fat. Like, I already know the game. It's already acceptable. It's whatever. The main reason I killed it is because it was dead fruit. It sat on the list for, like, about a year and a half, I want to say. With no interest and no nothing. Which is kind of the definition of a dead fruit game. That is effectively a lorium at this point. I didn't really intend for it to be, but it is. Dead fruit is exactly what it sounds like. It's a form of descriptor to describe any kind of game that's just dangling at the bottom of the bucket, rotten and dead and ignored. So, we're actually going to be doing semi-regular trimmings of dead fruit from now on to ensure that that doesn't happen as often as it was. Hydration Bot died a horrific and violent death. It was pretty awful, really. I'm a little shocked. Yeah, you ever heard of desiccation? It's kind of like that. Thank you, Drunk Killorn. Always appreciate. And I suppose you should know if you want to put that towards up to 3 things. Please let me know. You realize I'm never bringing back avocado. Oh yeah, daily mandated YouTube suicide while we're here. Hey. Unlocking shortcuts. Listen, if I could have avocados on the regular, you got it, Drunk Killer. Thank you again. Then I would. If I could just make avocados a regular part of my diet, that would happen. I love avocados. Avocados are generally a once per year thing. I like to say it's when they're in season, but what it really boils down to is when the greenhouses that provide the grocery stores that I buy from are in season. That's same thing with strawberries. It was strawberry season about a week ago. And for those of you who know how strawberries grow, you're like, wait, no it isn't. Yeah, that's because it was different. It's the greenhouse strawberry season, not real life strawberry season. Not really, Mike Romano. Ooh, hello. So here's the graveyard. Ooh. Are you painting in the rain? Oh, strawberry shortcake. Is that possible? I'm trying. I don't have a lot of time. The exhibition's next week. Oh, okay. Nothing's been working so far. I finally got invited to show my work in the city, but everyone there is doing amazing contemporary work. I don't know if I can keep up, but your stuff is beautiful. You know who's curating the event? Ian Artsworth. Famous contemporary artist, Ian Artsworth. He personally invited me to participate, and I'm going to show up with my boring landscapes, and he's going to take one look at them and whisper, "This fails to resonate with me," and probably karate chop them in half. What? He won't do that. He could. He's also a black belt, so it's definitely possible. You're right. Trying to paint here is useless. Maybe I'd have better luck at Outlook Point. Plus to Anxiety Painter. I don't even know their name. There's no names in this game. We'll call that Prime Opt. So any run goes until I am satisfied that the run is concluded, Latario. So if, for example, to use a comparison parallel to your question, let's say I'm playing Super Mario Bros. 1 and I game over on the first stage somehow. I don't put the game down, right? I keep going until I have reviewed the game. Sense, Mike? I know that that's not quite the same because there's a definitive endpoint to Mario Brothers, but it is actually the exact same mentality from my perspective. I review the game until I've reviewed the game. There are not, Jay Palmer. I've thought of a couple as I've been going. Some presentation stuff. Some storytelling stuff. The game controls weirdly well. I suppose that shouldn't be a negative, but I'm actually surprised at how smoothly and well the game controls. We never did find the guy with the fishing rod. That was one of the earliest quests we got. Yeah, I actually... A perfect example. Thank you, Blade Travel. So, to go back to you, Lotario. We actually quit Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 very early. And the reason why was because we'd reviewed the game. There was just so little there. It was the shallowest freaking puddle. So we were just done that quickly. We do have 12 shells. Where was that guy? I was roaming randomly when I found the shell person. It was on the beach. I remember that. I think it was this way. Yeah, from everything I read, we did that on camera. It's... Oh, shoot. Hello. Everything I read, if I had been reviewing the previous one or the previous one, we would have had a much different experience. But 14 was kind of crap. Like, it was... I want you to picture a cheap mobile game. And there you go. That's Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. It was not impressive. Oh. I have so many backup plans, you have no idea, Tim. That's not a joke. You want to know how many backup plans I have? You ready for this? Because this is not a joke. You're all going to make fun of me. You're going to laugh and be silly and be like, wow, that lore, he's so dumb. I have backup plans in case something like The Matrix, aka Simulation Theory, is real. Just in case. That's just the way my brain works. Actually, yes, Mr. Red. Just one. Actually, no, Lord Harriman. Fisher! But you can be left alone for just a sec, because I gotta go get something else first. Yeah, I wouldn't feel safe without a secondary backup. That quote has stuck with me for so long. Zombie apocalypse? Pfft, I got that. Everybody's got a plan for that. See you around, Eclectic. Thank you again. Remember, no more bits. Me just unlocking shortcut. Ooh. Unlocking stuff. I'll tell you one thing I'm giving this game a positive for. Guidance and flow of exploration is what I call that category. And I call it that for a reason. That quote is, it's actually from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It's a moment in which O'Brien is talking to a lovely Cardassian woman. And she insists that he's wasting time and efficiency. And his response is, I wouldn't feel safe without a secondary backup. Oh, sorry, elbow. You got it, Lord Harrimont. So let me jot some stuff down. Why is this down here? Guidance full of exploration. I do like how they're using the music. Music is per zone and smoothly not only fits the zone, but they're also using absence of music appropriately. Did you notice that? Like, you know, you picture Mario Brothers for just a second. I know. So, Mario Brothers. And as you're going through the stage, imagine if the music changed to fit the specific part of the stage you're at. And that's kind of what you got here. Which is funny, because actually Mario Brothers does do that in the 3D games, especially Odyssey, to use a recent example. You get my point. I like it. It's not quite Yoshi drums. That's different. The budget of this game. Do we know the budget of this game before I give my wild and inaccurate guess? What update is Bloodstained waiting on? Co-op! Freaking co-op. Where the goddamn hell is my Bloodstained co-op? How's it going? Good. Fish are all biting today. Cool, cool. So, is fishing hard? Nope. It's easy. Kids at home? Fishing is not easy. I could show you if you like. Yeah. Here. I'll lend you my spare rod. I mean, that's the goal, apparently, Shadow Machine. We just need to keep asking stupid questions. I'll lend you my spare rod. Yay! Casting line's pretty easy. Just press B. Okay, fair enough. Fishing is easy if you don't care about catching anything. Speaking of which... So, what do I do now? You wait. Oh. Okay. Am I doing this right? Yep. Maybe I should cast it again? You know, find a better spot. This spot is good. Saw some fish around here earlier. That's a good sign. Sometimes you just gotta wait. Patience is key. Not my strong suit. Look alive! Fish is nibbling. Should I pull? Not yet. You gotta wait for it to bite. Now, press B. What do I do now? Pull back and tap B. Oh god! Interesting technique. It was just an accident. That's alright. Let's give it another shot. Remember, once you hook the fish, pull back, which in this case is relative. Probably a good idea, Zach Taft. Just in case. What? But... There we go. Come with me, fish. If you want to be eaten. 93 centimeters with my first catch? Jesus. That was a good fishing spot. Sorry I fell in the water. It's pretty embarrassing. Not at all. You got spirit, kid. Into the water. I'm also a penguin. So, you know. Alright, we now have the ability to fish. Wrong button. I'm so stoked to eat breakfast, but it's already the afternoon. Tomorrow's breakfast. It's the best meal of the day. Sometimes, when I'm about to go to bed, I get so excited by the thought of it, I have trouble sleeping. Okay, I like breakfast too, but like, here, maybe chill a little bit, buddy. Just, you know. Okay, real talk. If I could have something like, oh, I don't know, what's the name of the complete breakfast that British people have? That's awesome. If I could have that every morning, I would actually be excited for breakfast in the morning. Which is funny, because right now I use breakfast as my main meal. Like, I eat more calories at breakfast than any other meal. Full English, that's the one. The full English. Oh. Homer drool. Thank you, Blade Travol. Always. For not using bits. Always appreciate. I mean, honestly, no judgment, and Stranger Paradise, Dragon Age Block, and ESO. Thank you. No judgment to anybody who wants to have, you know, sweet or candy-related breakfasts. I don't care. Do whatever. But me, I like a hearty breakfast. I like meat. I like potatoes. I like eggs. You know? Just, oh. Or tacos. Oh, yeah. Or like a steak. Or like a giant shredded beef chipotle burrito with guacamole and the chili verde. And you gotta get the corn in there. You gotta have the spiced corn. And no onions, obviously. Get brown rice. Double wrap it. Or get in a bowl. Both are acceptable, really. I think that's actually it. Oh, no. Lettuce. Gotta have lettuce, too. Yes, this setup is 100% legal. Yes, I have a valid camping permit. Wait. Fine, you got me. Hold on. I lost it. I'm a terrible liar. I'm a mess. Please don't write me up. I can bribe you. Did you really just hand me a fistful of worms? It's fishing bait. I'm desperate. What would you do? Well, doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell anyone. Wait, really? Aren't you a junior ranger? Nope. My aunt's a ranger, but I don't work for her. Oh well. You won't tell, right? Nah. Good. I guess. You can keep the bait. Thanks. Having said that, you know one of my favorite types of pancakes? I'd say my second favorite type of pancake. So you get a relatively small pancake, nothing big, just like this, right? Then you get like a layer of jam or preserves or whatever, right? Probably raspberry, maybe strawberry, something good. Then another pancake. And you already see where this is going. It's gonna stop there. Now, the problem is my favorite type of pancake is hard to describe because I actually don't know what is involved in the creation thereof. It's when the pancake is just enough, I guess salty is the word I want to use, rather than being sweet. Like, it leans away from being sweet, right? Someone help me out here, because you probably know what I'm talking about. It's definitely more on the savory side of things. As opposed to, you know, sugary. Really hard to find, too. Pretty much have to make them yourself. I'm a waffle guy anyways, what the hell do I know? Good luck in your race. I've gotten this far, and it's just me. Like, it's gotta be luck. Well, maybe a little, but you're so fast, and you've trained so much. You got this far because you're good. Aw. Yeah, I know. I think I've known all along. But, I don't know. I get so nervous. Sometimes I wonder if this is all a fluke. But you're right. I don't need luck. Here, you can have the headband back. I'm gonna do this all on my own. Oh, thanks. Good luck in the race. You got this. That... Sour pancakes? Oh, I don't think I've experienced that. And now I wish I had. Bacon pancakes? Never done that. However, I have had chicken and waffles. And let me assure you, as someone who thought it was the weirdest thing ever, if done right, it's actually really good. Here's the thing. Chicken and waffles, really easy to screw up. So, you know, lower floor, higher ceiling kind of a situation, right? Still, good chicken and waffles are really good. So was this the shell guy? Hey, I got your shells! It was! I'll take them! So now what? What? I mean, do I get anything? No. Jeez, not even a thank you? It's not very nice. I do what it takes to survive. I never promised you anything. Actually, I do have something for you. A new job. I already have a job. Mel, make this your side gig. What if I don't take it? It's your loss. Good jobs are hard to find. So what'll it be? Fine, whatever. Take this. Shell necklace. Deliver it to Ranger May. That is all. Okay. So, yeah, no, you have a waffle with fried chicken on top of it, and then you pour maple syrup on both. And I know it sounds weird, but one of the things I talk about constantly, I even talked about this during the Lord Herbs, is that really cooking is all about matching the right ingredients in terms of texture and taste. It's chemistry, right? So, proper chicken and waffles is a great combination of flavors and textures. You got a little bit of crunch. You actually have two types of crunch. But you also have the savory meat inside. And it also means that as you're going through it, you start sweet and then end savory. Heat is also important, of course. Unless, you know... Well, I'm not going to go that way with that joke. There's too many ways to take that joke. Joke overload. Liberty. Oh, wow, it's so pretty. She's such a sweet girl. I think all those shells must have been a lot of work. Well, actually... never mind. I remembered something. I found this golden feather in the cabin. I figured you could use it. Thanks. Most disliked class in WoW? It's weird timing. Is that like a word for delivering the necklace? No? Huh. Disliked class in WoW. Do I dislike any class in WoW? No, I do not. So, what's my least liked class in WoW? Actually, yeah, Rogue. I agree with that. Rogue it is. I can't say Evoker because I've never played it. So, by technical definition, Evoker. Alright, let's play Subnautica briefly here. I wasn't expecting an island out here. Or some flowers. Hello, flowers. Nom, nom, nom. Is this just Flower Island? What is this? I could make any animal species talk intelligently, which would it be? I mean, dogs. That's a really easy answer. They're already pretty much our partner as a species. Just commit to that. I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to get close to that. Not even halfway. Oh my god. Okay. Cars? No, I don't want cars to talk. My car already talks too much. So let's go out to the abyss here. See what happens. Oh, invisible wall. Okay. Pigs! That would be horrific. Cows would be really bad, too. I don't know. I'm pretty unfond of dogs anyways, and I understand intelligently how awesome they are. Mice? Raise eyebrow. If any of you say spiders, I'm just saying. There's going to be some donut cannon in your future. The problem is, if you have talking mice, then the mouse is going to want a cookie. And if you give a mouse a cookie, it's going to want a cup of milk. You give it a cup of milk, it's going to... I'm going to stop now. Okay, it looks like here's my path. So is there water down here? Oops. There it is. What animal should we eat into extinction? Well, dogs, obviously. Oh god, it's going to become a gremlin. Ah! Wasps. Yes, let's eat wasps into extinction. I like it. Oh god, where was that? I can't see. Down the hill. I'm just gonna guess. Was it this one? Almost. Yay. Would I like chocobos to exist? Not really. I mean, first of all, chocobos are canonically bad-smelling. That's not me making that up. That's true in many games. Second of all, what exactly do chocobos add that horses don't? I'm so sorry, Yura. So I'll take a moment to feel bad for Yura's poor system, which is trying to struggle to understand what's going on with it chemically right now. Chocobo meat probably does taste better than horse, but I've never had horse. I don't think we've been down there. No, we have. We just haven't been on this thing. What's this thing? What are you? Explain your purpose. Why do you exist? Oh my god, okay. So I can rotate it. Can I move it? Not really. Why do you exist? I ask that of myself every day. Never had ostrich either. That's a good point. Canonically, a bunch of 10-year-olds had no problem riding around in chocobos. It's actually the opening shot for FF3. We gotta have the chocobo knights, obviously. That's 10. Alright, so I think we've kind of explored everything at the moment. Except for up, of course, which I've been holding off of. Hey, kid! Buy some golden feathers? Yeah, okay. 100 coins. But that's more than twice as much as the Vinter Center. Go buy feathers from them then. Maybe I will. So you're gonna buy my feathers or what? Nope. To the Visitor Center! Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-da-ba. I don't remember where it is. Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da. Oh, not at all, Yura, no. Not even a little. What Pokemon do I want to be real? Yes. So this is kind of what the Diablo rewrite's going to look like. A little bit. Minus the flying. The animation. Which Pokemon do I not want real? All the legendaries. Let's just start with that. Like, all the legendaries. Nuke them. Sharp. What's up? Can I buy a golden feather? Sure. It's actually all the feathers we have. Boy came early and bought most of our remaining stock. That jackass! Oh, I hate price gougers. Market cornerers. That should be illegal. Points if you get it. Alright, everyone in chat, real quick. You get to pick one Pokemon. That Pokemon is now real and also yours. What do you pick? Don't worry, I'm sure it's still out there. I don't get the internet. I don't trust it. Never will. Yeah, I wouldn't either. You don't like Pokemon? Burn him! The heretic. Congratulations, Arceus is not God, but instead, just kind of a generally useless normal type. You now have one of the worst Pokemon in the game. But which Eevee, Evo? You gotta pick one! You get your. Let's assume everyone in chat, including me, has a Pokemon. I mean, that's easy. The Valley of the Four Winds, J. Palmer. Where else would you live in that setting? Yeah, you get one Pokemon. Wow, we really can just go up the waterfall. That's hysterical. Sorry, I was curious if there was anything behind the waterfall, and, well, that was the result of that action. Yeah, even I have a tough one, and find that a tough one, and of course Crobat's my favorite. So my sources say you've delivered the goods. Your sources are correct. So what about that pay? Okay, here you go. Enjoy your shells. I mean, practicality's neat, but honestly, I don't think even, like, an amazing Pokemon... Let's assume for a moment you can't pick a legendary. I don't think even an amazing Pokemon would really change my life in any substantial way. It's more like just, who do I want as a companion and friend? Because remember, Pokemon are sentient. Isn't it kind of dangerous? Not really. There's no falling damage. No, J. Palmer. Why would you want to? Enjoy breakfast, Evo. Remember, full English. Look, I'm fully in favor of letting players be dickheads if they want to be. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be like, ah, dang it, I want to be a dickhead every chance I get. In fact, I'm actually never going to say that. Hey, DirectD. We're taking a short hike right now. I have no capacity to, Melkor. The only way I could make a full English right now is to go to the grocery store, buy all the ingredients for a full English, come home, and cook it. I could do that. But time is this thing. You've probably never heard of it. Although I am idly curious. Just idly curious. Neither. They are my headcanon accurate, Guthor. Which Pokemon is the most delicious? I don't like eating people, Tim. Damn. Oh, well. I was just curious if anybody around here actually offered full English as a thing I could get delivered. Well, how do people taste, Tim? You tell me. You be the judge. There you go. Pork. Which is actually kind of gross when you think about it. Pure salt. How's the hike treating you? It's been nice. It's been really beautiful. I know, right? View from the top will be so good. You're gonna hawk peak too? Oh no. That's too intense for me. I'm just going to Outlook Point. Yeah, maybe I'll see you at the top. Awesome. Catch you later. Up, yep. Okay, thank you. Oh my god, please get out of my way. I'm trying to jump over you. I'm pretty sure you could throw, like, a piece of dog leather. Sorry, I don't know why I said dog leather. Shoe leather or dog meat under barbecue and it'll taste good. I mean, yes, Magister, that's pretty normal. I've got my regulars who tend to show up because they like to watch me stream. Or they have nothing better to do. Or they secretly hate my guts. And then I've got people who show up because it's a game they actually are interested in. Which I understand, but kind of lament, if I'm being honest. What's your deal? My deal? What's your deal? I'm hiking to Hawk Peak. Oh, wow. Sounds kind of basic. Hey, I'm just saying. Tourists come from all over. They're like, I'm gonna hike to Hawk Peak. Then they get up there. See, it actually takes real effort. Then they give up. Jeez, you don't have to be like that. I'm just saying, it's a little basic. So, what is your deal? I gave you mine. I need money. I'm gonna be short on tuition next semester. I'm nearly there, though. Trying to make some extra cash. Huh. How much you need? Well, after I sell all my junk, I'll still be short about 400 coins. Yeah, but whatever. That's life, I guess. So I need 400 coins. How many do I have right now? 336. You okay there, Mr. Red? You got a little evil stuck in your throat. I don't know what I would think about that, Tim. I know that hate donating is a thing. I do not understand it. I suppose my immediate reaction would be to not believe the person if they said they donated because they hate me. I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. Wink. I'm gonna try it, Crazy Norse. If I can remember where it is. Oh. I was actually going to say something specific. I've already lost it. Whatever, doesn't matter. You want a reaction. Thanks. That's a good question, Yura. I do not know. Depends on how tired I am. Remember, I'm running on 5 hours of sleep right now. Whoop, edge of the world. Oh yeah, which Digimon? Okay, so... we all know that whatever that one meme Digimon is that I don't even know the name of, that everybody has sex with, is totally the Digimon I'd want. because of the meme. So therefore, obviously, that's going to be the one I pick, whatever it is. Now, I'd like to say that I was joking about this. I mean, obviously I'm joking about wanting that one, but when we were streaming Digimon, what was it? Cyber something mystery? Digital mystery? Something like that. I was made aware of the fact that that's a thing. I wish I didn't know that, but now you know that. No, let's see. There were a couple of Digimon I actually really liked. And of course, I can't remember what they are now. I'd have to actually pull up my VOD of the only Digimon game I ever played. And just figure out what one I liked by the end. Because I don't remember, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of glad Max Time stopped watching me. I've said this, I've told this anecdote before, but you know it's bad? You know Max Time has a reputation for yelling at me. When my friends, my real-life friends, who do not watch my streams, are sufficiently familiar with Max Time, because it was so common that he would pop onto stream to yell at me. I don't think there is a higher ledge, Crazy Horse. Oh, I'm wrong. There's a higher ledge over here. That looks like a graphics bug. Look at that. That's not properly textured. But, silver feather. I don't know what that is. But we made it. Yeah, no, it was really, really common, Dakota. He finally just stopped watching me, probably because of the solidarity thing around Cloud of the Stars, who was pulling some drama, so that just kind of faded away. So, please don't donate in bits anymore, Shadow Machine, for the reasons I mentioned earlier, but thank you very, very much for the bits, Shadow Machine. Always. Always appreciate. Thank you. That's up to you, Mr. Red. Oh, no, that's not what you're asking. Yeah, I think Max Time might predate you. He bowed out of the stream before the FF9 Theater went live, to give you an idea. Fire Emblem... Oh, that's Warriors. And then Fire Emblem Echoes. You got it. So they've started overcharging the crap out of bits. Like, they used to charge, what was it, like 15%? Now they're charging closer to 29%. So, don't buy bits. Hey, there's the lighthouse. I haven't even found the lighthouse yet, but it's right there. Right in front of me. Oh, wow, that's really up there, isn't it? He was there at the beginning of Persona 5, I remember that. And he was just kind of, you know, Rule Zero violator, so... He's gone now, and that's the important part. Whoa! Whoa, camera! Hi, yeah, my name's, not Camera, apparently. I still don't know what the silver feather was for. Just gonna bug out the game here. Thank you, Melkor. So we know it's doing that this time, so we're ready for it. Thank you for getting rid of your bits. As a reminder, don't buy bits. They're overcharging the crap out of them. I think I'm going straight. God, I can't even tell now. Well, I lost lost the lighthouse because I couldn't go straight. Oh, I should have done... Damn it, I didn't even think to. I should have checked if the compass gave me direction when I was in the sight thing, you know? That way I could have gauged which direction it was in. But yeah, so... Oh. Apparently only gets so many feathers this high up. Oh my god. And once they go away, they stay away until we get into warm areas. Look at that. Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you for the bits, Pragwin. Bits are not new. Bits are actually several years old at this point. But we actually had someone confirm earlier that they were charged 29% surcharge on bits. Which is ridiculous. That's way, way, way too much money. Okay, so... Yeah, 28.8. Well, I guess, yeah, I'm just going to keep saying 29. But yeah, way too much is the answer to that. So we've got a bunch of these. This ain't helping, Claire. Oh, sorry. It's okay. Oh, absolutely, Ross. There's some people that are just gone, and there's nothing for that. Hey, seems like you really got in the hang of climbing. Yeah. Hey, I think I'm stuck. Tim, it's too high. What have I done? I can't do this. Tim, take a deep breath. Try and make calm. You're doing great. You know you can handle this. Can I? What am I doing? Just focus on the next step. You got this. I've got this? I've got this. This might take a while. We'll catch up with you later. I'll make sure he's okay. Yeah, don't let him fall. Speaking of somebody who used to rock climb for fun. Okay, so there's a heating pool. This game already has a better cold mechanic than Subnautica Below Zero. Think about it. Hold on there, young friend. Hope you don't mind me saying, but you seem a little unprepared. It's mighty cold up here for folk who aren't accustomed. I didn't expect to get this cold. My feathers are freezing up. Hot Peak is unique in the province for geothermal activity. If you get too chilly, stop at one of the hot springs. That should give you back your strength. Yes, thank you. I figured out the cold mechanics. So, which Sonic Universe character would I like as my roommate? But it can't be Dr. Robotnik. I like this song. He said non-human. That was like the requirement. Oh my god, the water froze or something. Is there a timer here? Yep, nope, immediately. Just immediately gone. Look at that. Wait, no, hang on, there we go. I'm apparently just a moron and don't know how to gather water. We're good, we're good, we're good. There's a lot of equipment in this game. More money, more problems. Where does this take us? I do like black olives on pizza, but the way forward is blocked. That explains why the Ruby game sucked. That's a joke for like 2 people in chat. Yeah, I'm not super impressed with the inventory. Or let me walk that back. I'm not super impressed with the inventory menuing. The variety of interactions is surprisingly high, but honestly, there should probably just be a, what do you call that? A smart responder, so you just walk up and interact with the thing, and it says, oh yeah, you've got the thing to interact with that, and you're good. You know, if have this, then do this. I used to like hiking. Actually, you know what? I went hiking once and only once, after the nose surgery, and it was quite enjoyable. So maybe I'll like hiking again. I don't know. Oh, this is encouraging. Oh, there's the 400 we needed. Go talk to that dude. Funny, I was going to say the soundtrack reminds me of Celeste, but I guess same vibes, really. Yep, we're doing all this so we can get some cell reception. We can finally play some video games. God! I mean, I understand that, Judo Joker. I barely have time to do exercise. I've got stuff to do that in my house. Well, apartment. Listen, if I can't blow money on worthless JPEGs to make myself feel slightly better about my miserable life for 5 seconds, am I even really playing a video game? I'm sorry, that actually came out harsher than I even intended it. But I'm not sorry at all, because screw Mobage. Alright, so. Hey, dude. So, I got your 400 coins. You want money for tuition? Wait, what? Really? Yeah, sure. But why? I found most of this just by looking around the island. I'm pretty good at finding stuff. Wow. I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's 400 coins, right? Here you go. Thanks. You can have this. Wristwatch. There's the freaking watch. It's like the only thing I hadn't found this whole time. I found it. I was gonna sell it on the internet, but I don't need it anymore. Huh, okay. Hey, what's up? Can I buy a feather? Oh yeah, no problem. You can have it for the regular price of 40 coins. Oh, sorry, I'm poor right now. That does sound amusing, Huthor, in a purely vindictive and spiteful sort of a way. Alright, so now we gotta find the watch person, which is not that person. Oh, where was the watch person? You know, can I just admit really quickly that it vaguely irritates me that people refer to people who are bros in the negative tense? I know, language, blah, 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 blah. But, like, bros are supposed to... It's supposed to be a positive word. It's supposed to be something in a positive connotation. But instead we have Call of Duty bros, or ARPG bros, as some people have used it, or NFT bros, or crypto bros, or commerce bros. And it's like, no, quit it. Quit it. They're gremlins. I like it. Done. Okay, they are now gremlins. I'm going to make that happen. I'm going to make that a real. With my incredible power of making up crap when it comes to words, we're now going to start calling them gremlins. Crypto gremlins. Dude gremlins is what those are called now. And think about it. Makes sense. Never did find the lighthouse. Like, I saw it from the thing, and I never actually found it elsewise. What console has my most favorite game? The SNES, Final Fantasy VI. Failing that, the PC, which isn't a console and therefore cheats, as is my want. Yeah, bros for good people. I agree, completely. Crypto scumbags. Dude scumbags. Nah, see, that's too much. Even gremlins might be too much because it's 2 syllables instead of 1. Do we have a monosyllabic insult word we could use? Dude bags! Crypto bags. Oh, I hate the crypto bags. No, nerd is admittedly a negative word, but shouldn't be. So I don't like using that as a negative word. Yeah, I like dude bags. That appeals to me. Where is this twit? Or gonks. Eh. Dude jerks. Crypto jerks. Actually, that kind of fits. NFT jerks. Nah, it doesn't work. NFT bags, though. I do have twit, but I usually reserve twit for when I'm actually upset at someone. Hey, I was right. I think I found your watch. Yes, that's it. Oh, thank you, thank you. You're welcome. I had to return the favor. Please, take this. Silver feather. That's 2 silver feathers I have now. I still don't know what they're for. Silver feathers are very rare. With 1 in hand, you can climb faster and fly higher. Wait, so do I actually have to have it equipped? My inventory is getting a little full here. I guess not. That's just a stat upgrade. I am noticeably climbing faster, though. Look at that. Jesus. Yeah, that's an efficiency booster. I'll take that. My goodness. So if I could just find the lighthouse, I'd be done with everything below the snow line. Great friendship in video games? I gotta be real. There's a lot in BioWare. BioWare tends to lean onto the bro thing a lot. And frankly, it's one of the character archetypes they tend to do better. This game is the most difficult game I've ever played, Tim. This is truly the Dark Souls of immersive sims. Please don't put that in the highlight reel. Alright, hang on. I need to make fun of Savicom. Savicom! I look forward to continuing collaborating with you on the Final Fantasy rewrite. I've been enjoying your thoughts so far. Thank you. I give up on the lighthouse. I don't know where the lighthouse is. I don't even know how to find the lighthouse. Actually, hang on. We're going to try one last thing with the lighthouse. One last thing. Let's get some speed. Oh, God. Cryptocurrency is being used by the Patriots. Cryptocurrency? Yes. It's a new type of control mechanism. Oh, I see. Best friendship between 2 women in a video game. Money. Not money. That's not the answer to that question. Let's see. So we've got... God, really, Takoida? Wow, I was joking. Like, I was full on just... Okay. I love it. Youngblood. Oh, they were pretty positive towards each other. I don't know if that counts. This way? Yeah, I was thinking about Riku and Yuna. There's also, ironically, Morgan and Liliana who get along weirdly well. I don't think I've even seen the cable tower. That's why I can't find the lighthouse. Life is Strange. Yeah, that's... I'm gonna... I don't know. That one's got its own problems. And that terrible, terrible ending, which I will never forgive. How far can I just jump in the air right now? That is a lot of height. Almost from water level. Did you see that? Holy crap. Hold on, what was that? What was that? Okay, never mind. Well, since we know we can do this now... Oh, this is the peak. I'm right here. Duh. So, have you played Inquisition, Lord Harrimont? I wouldn't blame you if you haven't, of course. So, you know how Morgan's wearing the shoes that Liliana recommended in Inquisition? Okay, so let's see. Can I zoom in? Can I do anything? Oh, I can. It's right there? It's right there? And the dress. Yeah, she's also wearing the dress. Okay, so I know where it is now. It's right by the frickin' starter area. Oh, no. Aveline and Isabella are totally friends. I actually 100% would support that as one of the better friendships. No question. That's actually a better pick than mine. Oh yeah, Jack and Miranda in Citadel, specifically. But no. Evangeline... oh, God. Oh, Jesus, I was right there, too. Aveline, excuse me, not Evangeline. Aveline and Isabel. That's going to be my pick. I'm going to stick with that. That's my pick. That's an interesting question, Uthor. Yes. I'm gonna go with yes on that one. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm apparently an idiot. I didn't notice the outside of BioWare thing. Outside of BioWare. Well, I did mention Riku and Yuna earlier. In 10, not 10-2. Reen and Gaia feel like cheating, so I'm not going to go with that. Jesus, look at that height. I don't know where that is, Ladson. I have never smashed watermelons, and I would not enjoy it. You know why? First of all, I'm a builder, not a destroyer, but second, and far more importantly, to me that would just be a waste of food, which is something I have trouble with in general. Okay, we raced her to... Oh god, I think I know where that was. Let's get some height. Let's get the camera to go this way. Beginning of snow here. Undyne and Alphys are not friends. I mean, they are. But that's usually what we'd characterize as girl friends. As in, a little bit different, a little bit different. We're talking about bros, except female bros. There she is. Okay, so there's the building. That's a lot of height now. West of this building, which is this way. Tidus and Waka? I mean, guys are easy. That's the problem, really. Thanks, Dakota. Whoop, whoop, hello. But yeah, we're trying to think of female bros. I mean, obviously there's several female bros for, like, the player or the player character. I'm trying to think of female bros regardless of the player character. I'm still kind of going westish. Anyways, the Warden. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I've thought about this before. One of the... Look, Gum Gum. One of the biggest problems that, honestly, Dragon Age has always had is the fact that the Warden's story has never continued. And, in some cases, can't, depending on the player's actions. That's the biggest problem. The biggest issue with having that story continue is the fact that some Wardens are dead, or in a state where they honestly can't really be playable anymore. However, they brought Liliana back, so I think they can bring the Warden back. So I'm going to stick with my answer. I think the best solution to the Warden problem is to just bring them back as the next PC and make people play as them. And then conclude their story, definitively, one way or the other. Actually chop off the Warden's story. The catch is trying to figure out a way to chop off the Warden's story that fits a Warden who is dead, a king, a queen, or often in the Anderhells, I think. Jesus. No, Lulu's definitely trying to be the motherly figure that Yuna doesn't have. I don't think that qualifies as a bro. We got a couple of these nowadays. Yeah, the problem is Dragon Age Origins can go so many different ways. I always talk about that every time we cover it. Most people aren't even aren't even aware of how many ways Dragon Age Origins can go. If I might be so blunt, what I would probably do is I'd probably be like, alright, we're just going to cut some of these branches off and say that they're not canon. Just commit to that. Just commit to that. Like, alright, look. Not all of this is canon. The end. Yeah, you can end with a very empty party at the end of Dragon Age Origins. So which paths do I keep? So King and Queen, which I'm going to count as two paths because they are different in how they rearrange the rest of the world around them. So King and Queen, Anderfells, that's it. 3. We're stopping there. So, can I buy a feather? Got another one? Awakening? I mean, let's be honest, there probably is going to be a Dragon Age rewrite, so we can kind of debate that when we get there. But Awakening definitely needs some polishing, because the Architect is, for all intents and purposes, abandoned at this point. I mean, honestly, I'm astonished they didn't tie in the Architect with Corypheus. It was the perfect time and method to do so, and they just decided not to. honestly, that wouldn't even surprise me if that was true, Crazy Horse. I like the Yoshi drums of this part of the mountain, I really do. I think we made it. Whew. I did it. Pulls out his phone. Oh, phone reception. Hello? Hi, Claire. Mom! So glad to hear from you. I've been waiting all day to hear from you. I've been worried. Oh, honey, I told you I'd be fine. Yeah, but you always say that. And I always am. Anyway, how have you been? Well, I'm at the top of Hawk Peak right now. Ooh, wow, I love it up there. May and I used to go up every summer together. It's about time you made it up. Yeah, I know. You're so big now. My little girl's leaving the nest. You won't have any need for little old mom. But I do need you. I'll never not need you. When I heard about the surgery, you never told me this was a thing. I didn't want you to worry. But I know you can get worked up about things. I could have been there for you. You're all alone there now. Really, it was nothing. Everything was fine. I'm just glad you're okay. I love you, Mom. I love you too. Wait, something's happening? Yeah, it's an active volcano. They mentioned that earlier. Was that the famous Hawk Peak updraft? Looks like it. You should catch a ride on it now. Before it fizzles out. I wanna, but I'm kinda nervous. Claire, you can do it. I'll come visit you soon, okay? Also, don't forget to say hi to Aunt May for me. She's probably waiting for you back at the cottage. Bye, love you. You too, Mom. Whoop. And then Shepard shoots us. Don't trust Shepard! Sorry. Hey, did you make it to the top? Yeah, it's really nice. I can see why you like it so much. Though, it wasn't exactly a short hike. Yeah, that was 2 hours and 42 minutes. I'm really tired. Well, maybe that's a bit of an understatement. Only a bit? Kind of been a busy day. Oh yeah? What have you been up to? Well, I learned how to fish. Did you now? Yeah. Bill lent me a fishing rod. Of course it was Bill. I don't think I've ever seen him not fishing. Also, I swam out to a mysterious island. You mean Pat's Point? Is that its name? That makes it sound like way less mysterious. Sorry. Oh, I whacked my shovel against this rock, and money came out. It was a money rock. Well, now you're just making stuff up. I highly doubt you found this money rock in Ontario. They're more of a West Coast thing. Anywho, you hungry? I'm gonna break out the hot dogs soon. Well, kind of tired out. I'm gonna go take a nap or something. Alrighty then. Have a good one. I think it'd be nice to take a break. No, that was a good bite-sized game, which is honestly a little bit better than I was expecting. I just realized as of this exact moment, you can actually see the mountain in the distance here. Of course, alt-tabbing freezes the game. We're going to do something stupid. Oh yeah, and if you haven't gotten your guess in, this is a really good time to do so. Yeah, the next game we're playing is CK3. That's going to be a little bit different. A little bit. Sorry. Yeah, we'll beat CK3 in like, I don't know, 15 minutes. If by beat, you mean get killed by my nephew, who is secretly trying to seduce my wife, who is also his sister, in order to claim my right to the throne, which I don't actually have, because I've only got a light lean on it, but he wants that lean, so he can... Which game throne would I like to have? I mean, we all know I sit upon the frozen throne. Which, ironically, is either just a chunk of ice in the retcon or in the original canon, is actually a magically imbued chunk of nether ice, which is different. I think so, Taquita. I started up CK3 very briefly to do some tech tests, and it was like... It essentially forced me into the tutorial, and I try not to look at it, but I think it was Ireland. It looked a hell of a lot like Ireland. And then I alt F4. Yes, Magister, because remember, the original Lich King was crafted by the Noth regime, and there was a whole thing about that, and all that's out the window. Correct, Kira White Noise. Depends on how memey I'm being, Tim. How much incest in CK3? That's kind of up to you, isn't it? My mom is my dad's mom. We'll have tons of time to quit it. We're not going to beat CK3 this week, you know? Yes, edit the doc directly, add your name, your guess, and the game you want to put it towards if you win. See, I'm looking at our categories here. Oh, so much worse. But it's okay, Savicon, but it's actually much less worse. See, Drakengard, we'll talk about this. I'm actually going to talk about this during the announcement video. Drakengard is creepy, right? And I got accused of being pro-censorship by accusing it of being creepy, so that's cool. But, games like that, that's creepy. CK3 is ridiculous. It's not serious, right? It's not being portrayed as some big weird thing. It's a joke. It's CK3 has the meme factor of being the incest game because you can, but yeah, no, it's a joke. Yeah, it crosses the line twice. It is bonkers what you can do in Crusader Kings 3. In fact, there was a Reddit thread, and I can't remember what it's called, for CK2, for Crusader Kings 2. And it was something along the lines of, only in CK2, right? Like, what kind of things would you only say in CK2? Like, you can make your horse a retainer. This is true. You can make your horse your retainer, marry it, and it was difficult to do, but you could create a family of human-horse hybrids. And you had to, like, oh god, you had to, like, get the insanity trait and then get, like, an event to trigger, and then you could make your horse your chancellor, and then you'd have to, like, make your horse your next in line by adopting them, and then deliberately die, and then the horse that you are now playing is now in charge of the kingdom. Yeah, that's Crusader Kings. They leaned into it. Glitterhoof. Anyways, rather than... So I'm looking at this. We actually have a category called visual novel, which I don't think this qualifies as. We don't really have a walking sim category. But what we do have, hear me out, I know you all think I'm wrong, and you're right, is we do have a category called platformer. Because that's what this is. This is a platformer. It has a multi-jump thing, which has jump upgrades, and a glide, and a dive. This is a platformer. It is a very short platformer. It is a rather, it's like a bite-sized platformer, which is more focused on just roaming rather than getting to the goal. But it's still a platformer. Yeah, it's Breath of the Wild Light. That's exactly what this is. So, we're going to put this under the platformer genre. Now, unfortunately, that means it's going to get stomped because the platformer genre contains some giants. But, that's not really the point here. And yes, I know 2D platformers and 3D platformers are different. I don't bother. At least not for the spreadsheet. Good point, Kira White Noise. Could someone, like, throw penguins at Kira White Noise really quick, please? It's just a bunch of penguins. If you don't have penguins, you can use donuts. That's whatever. Yeah, Cat Kid is like, aw, hug, and then rushes off. There actually were penguins in one of the DLC levels, if you remember. Oh my god, Flygand actually has penguins. That's kind of weird, if I'm being honest. So you finished, the Mystic Quest of platformers. I like that. Not bad. I mean, okay, Mystic Quest, it does have several bad elements. But that's not the comparison I'm making. The comparison I'm making is it's such and such light. If you haven't made your guess, this is a really good time to do so, because I'm cutting that off very quickly. Listen, Flagan, you in Madagascar, what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. That ain't my business. I think so, Crazy Norse, yeah. Because we got a Hat in Time, which is amazing. And... no, it's a Hat in Time and Psychonauts 2. Those are the 3D platformers that have been really good. Now, we've had several net positive... is it really Dakota? We've had several net positive 3D platformers, like the Spyros, and... I know there's another one. Psychonauts... no? Oh, the Marios, right. Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. But that's it. The only really good ones have been A Hat in Time and Psychonauts 2. I agree completely, Judo Joker. I can tell especially and implicitly because I've never played that game. Therefore, ergo, it is the greatest game ever made. Run, Flygant, run! So, I think we can all agree Flygant is turbo dead. Oh, gotcha, Dakota. What's my guess? I don't know, Jay Palmer. I don't do the guessing game. That's your job. Now, listen, I'm going to need you to sign your TPS reports, Jay Palmer. If you could do that, that'd be great. You know, I've spoken weirdly about Office Space before, but can I just say, I have had so many bosses that are worse than that boss in Office Space that I kind of wish I'd had him instead of them more than once. I don't think I'm going to ding the inventory. It was only a minor hiccup. I am going to give a negative to the camera. That was an interference many times. Like, that was just aggravating. Yes, now I am my own boss. Which is funny, because I'm probably a lot harsher than any of them were. I got a schedule to keep. Don't worry, I'm not my own grandfather. I'm not Fry. Although I am immune to mind control, so that's pretty neat. Is it really Suffolk? I was just making a Futurama reference. Although I know. Blue. It's always been blue. What are you talking about, Roman Cure? Like, that's a very strange question. Is my... nope, my camera looks exactly the same as it always does. Unless you're just seeing all the sharks here. Am I a good boss? Yeah. I'm very demanding, but, you know, I do can't manage to back off a little bit on that. Like, for example, I'm going to take a bit of a break today instead of work on the highlight reel. How's that for a shock? Funny, because I actually, if I ever do, you know, win the lottery or whatever, I plan to employ a lot of people. It's okay, I'm told I'm a good boss. I hope you enjoyed the stream, by the way, Walker, since this was kind of your baby. Feel free to tell me that I suck and I'm terrible. How long has it been since you've watched one of my streams, Roman Cure? Because I think I've narrowed in on what you're referring to. Highlight reels take an average of 1 hour a day out of my life. 30 minutes during lunch break, 30 minutes during my dinner. Yesterday, then absolutely nothing has changed. You're on crack. I mean, I literally have video evidence of this. I can go double check here right now. Let's pull up Modern Warfare 2, mute it immediately. It looks exactly the same. Literally exactly the same. Seriously, go watch the Modern Warfare stream. It is identical. Roman Cure has given in to the dark side of the Force. Which actually doesn't... You know how it makes your eyes yellow, right? That's what's happening there. I'm so sorry, Mr. Red. May God have mercy on your soul. The switch happened during making the director's videos for Diablo Rewrite. I know that because in the middle of making those videos, I realized how irritated I was at a camera issue. I then solved that camera issue, and now the camera issue is solved. We're actually pulling at 4K, as we should have been all along. And so lighting and camera are married when it comes to visual design. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot do one without the other. So my lighting design before was set up for the 504 whatever P that I was pulling. Now that I'm pulling in 4K, I had to readjust my lighting design. So, new lighting design because the new camera. There you go. I don't actually remember Lothario. I don't know. Now to completely ignore chat while I glance through this is not going to take me long. Probably Trihexia. I don't know if it's on the Switch, though, and that's sort of her bag. Like, she doesn't really play PC games. In fact, I think the only PC games she's played are Stardew Valley, with me, on stream, and Deep Rock Galactic. And that's it. My niece has not played Hat in Time. I don't think she would enjoy a Hat in Time. In fact, I know with total certainty that she would not enjoy Hat in Time. Ah, thank you, Random. Okay, if we're counting back in the day when she'd sit in my lap and play games, then that list suddenly expands to like a couple dozen other games. I meant, you know, nowadays when she goes and plays video games. Oh no, she's into platformers. Please think about a Hat in Time for just a second. Think about some of the levels, some of the boss fights, and most importantly of all, everything to do with the forest. She would not enjoy that. No, I do not, Zacteft. I absolutely know she would not enjoy Cyber Shadow. While it is proper difficulty, she would get way too frustrated with that way too quickly. Best game for children who are bad at games. Minecraft. I have actually done a tutorial video for a group of children for school. Yes, really. I'm actually kind of proud of this. We're technically still in the middle of editing it down and you know, making it work. But the point is, it is actually an educational video that they're going to be playing in class for kids learning how to play Minecraft as a way to learn things like logistics, counting, teamwork, objective-based progression, stuff like that. I am super not uploading that to my channel. That would be a very dumb idea. I declined Fife because I was actually invited to come and present the video myself. and talk about work and a few other things. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And you're probably thinking, but why, Lore? I'm too fat. I know, I'm not actually fat, but I would feel entirely too uncomfortable presenting anything in front of anybody right now. I'm sorry, why what is stupid, Mr. Red? Like, that's it. I just wouldn't feel comfortable talking in front of her. It's the same reason why, like, if I... Yeah, there's also some docs. Oh, why would it be uploading a bunch of... So, my real name is attached to that video because it's an official presentation for a real school with real kids. And even if I were to chop that out, which would be extraordinarily difficult to do, because it's said semi-frequently, the fact that also my sister's teacher, my sister's name is also said frequently, so that's also a no. But then there's the fact that there's actually some fairly strict requirements for online presence for teachers and teacher assistants. So, that's another thing. How would they know about what my stream is, Crazy Nurse? And no, this was made last Saturday, Melkor Blade. That's why I say we're still in the middle of making it. I say last Saturday. We worked on it last Saturday and over Sunday while I was hanging out with Sis. I'm gonna put that under... Yes, my name is actually Lore. Lore Runner. What does not taste good deep fried? Chicken. They're making another TMNT? Jesus. It'll never surpass the original. You know the one. Thank you, Judo Joker. It's actually funny, because I'm semi-used to talking about mechanics in a deep manner. What I'm not used to is explaining mechanics to people who don't know what mechanics are. Having to actually rewind a bit. The way it was described to me is you have to it's like, okay, here's the biggest challenge I had, right? Teaching my niece, that's easy. Because I know her, one-on-one, right? So I know the way her mind works, I know what she can process, I know her vocabulary, right? So I can very much personalize any lessons to her. That's a joke. I've been doing that for like 8 years now. But what I have to do is I have to customize a lesson and a lesson plan for a whole bunch of kids who have a huge gradient in their understandability in terms of English. Some of them are, oh, what's it called? English Second Language, ESLs, I think is what they call that. So I've got a bunch of kids who may or may not understand English as well as other kids do, have varying degrees of mental understanding, may or may not be on the spectrum, etc., etc. So I cannot customize my lesson to an individual knowing who and what they are. I have to instead design it for essentially everyone. And that was the biggest challenge by far. Yeah, it's not like they don't understand English, but English isn't their first language, and it's different, right? Anybody who knows that knows it's different. Anybody who's ever had a second language knows it's different, especially when you're 10. Is this soundtrack on SoundCloud? Can I buy this? Not SoundCloud, that's not what I mean. Where do I buy soundtracks? Oh, lots of visual learning. I was the camera recording footage as the Minecraft perspective. And you know me, I'm actually good at camera work. I know how to Bandcamp, that's what I mean. Is it on Bandcamp? Hang on. Bandcamp. A short hike, because I'm buying this thing. Yep, there it is, right there. Mark Sparling. Excellent. I got there just before you, Jay Palmer. Lex. But yeah, no, exactly. You have to not assume understanding. I prefer Bandcamp, personally, if I have a choice. But yeah, lots of visual learning. I like to showcase things. I like to present things. You know me. It's how I direct videos in general. It's how I like to. Because you probably don't know that. Because you probably haven't watched the videos I've actually produced. But trust me when I say I tend to be very big on visual presentation when it comes to storytelling. Anybody who actually watched the World of Warcraft series knows what I'm talking about. A lot of thought went into every shot and when you would see what and why. Same thing. Same thing. To say we've done, if you've seen the Undertale theater or the LTTP theater, you've also seen that in effect. World of Warcraft is canon lore, yes. It's my telling of it, but that just means I've tried to summarize it and tell it in a way that is more understandable than if you actually were to play the game. The World of Warcraft rewrite will be my take on it. I haven't even started work on that. I got too many other projects on my plate to think about that yet. It's gonna happen though. For those curious, the only rewrites that are penned in right now, that are etched in stone, no, it is not chronological, Jay Palmer. The only rewrites that are etched in stone are Star Wars, Warcraft, the Final Fantasies, which is, I'm not sure the exact number, but it's several Final Fantasies, Star Trek, Battletech, and Diablo. Those are the only ones etched in right now. There's a whole lot of other suggestions. Those are penciled in. It's funny you say that. Rewriting Star Trek, which we... there we go. It's probably a bigger project. Star Wars is going to be more difficult. You know why? Because everybody cares about Star Wars. So, we're going to get more about the Star Wars rewrite. I know that because we already have. Honestly, we do plan to do FF10 and FF10-2. Possibly bake them into one. Not sure about that yet. But it's one of the only FFs I've put actual thought into, pre-production, as it were. I then decided to stop, because I'm focusing on 1, 2, and 3 right now. But I have... The writer's room has already debated FF10 and 10-2 a little bit. Let's put it that way. Yeah, no kidding, Shadow Mage. Still hasn't been removed from that list. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, no, Von Falkenstein. Do me a favor, at Reloaded for that. That's kind of his baby more than mine. I've sort of been hands-offing Battletech. And he needs the push anyways, because he's been sort of radio silent for a bit now. Which is one of several reasons why the rewrite is my project. Okay. Audit done. Oh, he's fine. He's just busy. He's a single father with more than one child who works full-time, who does YouTube stuff. Of course it's my project. That's... Oh, this is going to score decently well, I think, given its length. Where's the sheet? Where's the sheet? There it is. Do it, Yura. Do it! Give in to your anger. With each passing moment, you make yourself more a game designer. Oh yeah, speaking of which, real quick. I want to plug something. So anybody looking to get into game development, Godot 4.0 just released like 6 days ago. I'm going to link it in chat. Anybody wanting to get into game development and doesn't want to mess with Unity or Unreal, this is not a bad engine to poke at. I've been keeping an eye on it for a while now. It's got tons of features. It's surprisingly user-friendly. And it's a good way to kind of dip your toes into game development. I just wanted to plug that really quick, because I know we got a bunch of people who at least, you know, like the idea of game design, and maybe you want that extra little bit of push, right? So, push! There you go. It's hit 4.0. It looks awesome. If I had time, I would dip into it. I don't. I'm working on the rewrites. Well, you get it. And yeah, I know Mr. Red's into that. I know Yura's into that. Dean has been banging on about it. I don't know. He's not here right now. Random would probably do some awesome stuff with it. Obviously, Evo would probably make some great stuff with that. Yes, take all my ideas. Take my ideas. Use my knowledge. I beg you. I mean, if you're already into Unreal, then you're already into Unreal. This is more for people who are, you know, starting. Right, Jay Palmer? Not a bad start location. Lore Runner the game. First, you wake up in the morning, get a bunch of negative comments on your YouTube, yelling at you for all sorts of things. No. I am not going to be doing any review of Hogwarts Legacy. It is on the veto list. Thank you for asking, though, Ghost Rider. I mean, the main reason I like Unreal is Unreal, whatever the latest one is actually an insanely good engine. Oh god, I can't think of it now. I was actually following it, and I was really jazzed about it. It's the one where they got rid of... Is it 5? It's the one where they got rid of... Or not got rid of, that's the wrong way to phrase that. They made it so the game can live render objects at a distance without the LOD, I think is the term. Yeah, the nanite system, which is bonkers. For those of you familiar with game development, the nanite system is bonkers. Now, as much as I gush about Unreal, I do want to mention, unless there's a way around this that I don't know about, you actually have to get into... I can't believe the soundtrack's still going. You have to get the Unreal Game Store to get Unreal, the engine, which is dumb. And if that affects you, that affects you, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Just point it out. Apparently it's on GitHub. That's interesting. The Epic Games Launcher. Yeah, the garbage, I believe, is what that's formally referred to as. I hate the Epic Games Launcher, like, a lot. Just not a fan. Not a fan. Why? Too complicated to go into right now. Well, I mean, it isn't anymore, Ghost Rider. It's been nuked now. Whatever you're looking at is either an outdated website, which is possible. Hang on, we'll go double check that right now. LoreRunner.com. I mean, the Epic Games Store, or sorry, the Epic Game Launcher is kind of a crap program. That's why it's so. It's like the Bethesda one. Nobody likes that because it's junk. Let's see, Hogwarts. Nope, it's not on the list. Okay, we're good. We're good. Everything's cool. It's on the veto list. Thank you, Raskar, for answering the question. Final score. +5 to story, which is 1.85 points per hour. And that's 100% ratio, because I couldn't think of any store negatives. And +5 to gameplay, which sounds familiar. That is a density of 1.85, and of course has a ratio of 85.71%. I'm just gonna put this over here. I don't even have the guessing sheet up. Where's the guessing sheet? Oh god. I actually don't like the GOG launcher that much, but it is at least better than the other ones. Which is not saying much. There we go. So that's going to give us a final score of... I can't type that quickly, apparently. Come on. Can I get some drum rolls while I figure this out? Get to talk about game design. That gives us a final golden number of 31.04. Now, that's pretty low. And honestly, I kind of stand by that. Because that's kind of how the golden number system works. There's not a lot of meat on these bones. But it is a fairly dense game. So, what little is there is good. That puts this, for example, better than... Well, that's not saying much. Better than Mega Man 9, for example. But yeah, it's compact, it's short, it's simple. It's also got really good ratios and really good density. Let me use a comparison. So, Mega Man 9... Or, no, I'm reading that wrong. You know what? Here's a good comparison. Super Mario 64 got a 19.21, which is worse, obviously. However, Super Mario 64 did have more gameplay positives. However, not only did it have worse density, 0.82, it had much worse ratio of 66.67%, as opposed to this game's 1.85 and 85.71%, right? As always, the golden number is, of course, the final number, but the whole point is to try and get across all the information, which is why I usually make all that information publicly available. It's also slightly better than Mega Man X7. I'm not going to talk about it, Ghost Rider. I have never talked about it. And I never will. Until I take over the world, obviously. Then I'm going to punch! I do hope y'all enjoyed. I'm going to go get ready for my next stream, which at this point, I don't even get like that much of a longer break. I might just go ahead and start early. Either way,